G'day and welcome to Inforunners. I'm Execute. Today we're joined by Algared, and of course the man of the hour is Badges. How you doing, buddy? And buddy?
Yeah, all good, thank you. It's good to have Algared back on cam, back with us, mate. In the world of the living.
It's nice to have a computer that's working again, or having had the time to actually reload Windows and set up a new SSD drive has finally happened. But yes, nice to be back.
Good.
So yeah, after last week, we got a couple of donations for Badges to help out his Perseus fund. We do have to explain a couple of things, obviously. But yeah, we thought we'd see if we can help get the rest of it. I want to wait through a few people here to explain it. But see, I always forget. I gotta start the bot. Every single.
That was me wiping a tear from the corner of my eyes about those donos, just in case you didn't notice.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a little bit of Wait, starting for beginning. Yep, cool. All right, so bot should be up and running. I will do a test real quick. Oh, I can't type in that channel. Hello, Rob. Okay, for some reason.
Hey, Robert. Glad to see you.
Won't let me type in that one. So I got to type in this one. So I'll do a test question.
Yeah.
I can. Thanks for chucking in the question there.
Yep. It keeps saying chat ID is invalid. This is not good. That's the first time it's ever said that. Cannot find live. Oh.
Let's go. Algared can entertain us with a song whilst this goes on.
Doobadoo, 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 doobadoo. There was an old man named Al who came from Hurston Town. He bought a ship, crashed a ship.
Yeah, Johnsky. Algared's new to the whole Star Citizen thing. He's just starting out. We're going to do a fix my fleet with him at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you feel like riffing on Badges, feel free to send through. There's two ways you can do it today, because normally we just do super chats or whatever. But I also have a PayPal, because as you guys know, YouTube takes a cut of the super chat you send it. So if you want all the money to go to Badges, the PayPal we use is actually just my PayPal. So it's oh man, I have to write this link down, aren't I? I'm not good at doing this stuff. PayPal. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the bot to work, guys. It's having a bug, so we might be fine without it today.
Okay. Thank you, Randy Alom, for that $20 donation to the Perseus Fund.
Dude, that's awesome.
You get to ask Badges a question which he has to answer.
You get to ask a question or generally be mean, whatever it is you fancy. What I'll do whilst that's happening is I shall grab the questions because I'll need to look that way so you can't see me tearing up with everyone being mean. And I'll try and get them into stream questions until the bot is back with us.
No, I don't think we're going to have the bot today. It just keeps saying cannot find live repetitively. This is like it's broken. It's the first time it's ever broken. So something's gone awry.
I will try and grab.
And I need to find Piggles, and knowing where you live in the world, Piggles is asleep.
It's 10 to 10. Might be able to get Piggles.
Well, he's offline. So he's the only other because he built the bot.
Just sling him messages until he wakes up. It's fine. This is important.
Yeah.
But Randy, thank you very much, my friend. It's very much appreciated.
And hi, Biker and Axios. Glad to see you on the Twitch stream as well.
Yeah, Feathers and Shempasta and lots of the old faces. Good to see you.
It's always nice to see the faces. And we should say our voices in the void today are Cam and Lemming. Say hi, Cam. Say hi, Lemming.
Hello.
That was Cam and Lemming. Are you there? Or are you going to send us crickets and make me look like a fool?
So, Lee Bob,
Sure.
So here's the background. I suppose we can do this while we're waiting for more people to get up so Execute can explain kind of how things are going to work. But the background is that the Perseus is quite easily my favourite ship in the game. In terms of the concept of it, I love all of that stuff. However, I don't yet own it. And at the moment, between work and the fun that we're having in the UK with rising cost of living and all that sort of stuff, the Perseus is looking further away rather than kind of closer, unfortunately. So some very, very awkward, nasty people at Inforunners decided that they would be awesome and to kind of help me out with all the fuss at work and all that sort of stuff. They try and take my mind off it by sorting out a Perseus for me. And we just happened to mention it in the last stream, and you guys went absolutely nuts donating money, which was awesome of you. So what we thought is, rather than just kind of giving stuff, you can be mean to an extent for the rules that Execute will explain in a little while.
There's rules? So, I didn't know there was rules. I thought it was freehold bars. Go nuts!
without fear of being kicked or silenced or banned or anything like that. You know,
the rule is it has to come with a super chat or a PayPal me type.
I think the other thing would be is just as long as the bot doesn't kick you, so don't go too nuts. You know, so just don't swear. You can be creative.
Yeah. It has to be tasteful at least, you know. So don't do stuff that would get us banned.
Yeah.
Also, JC, I happen to say Jesus Christ a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm referring to you in chat. So yeah, just prepare yourself for that. But I'm going to grab the questions from chat while I can. Thank you very much, Zalcon. I hope I'm getting that right. But yeah, everyone has that one ship, don't they? That they kind of really like the look of and just seems to fit with the way they want to play the game. And for me, that's the Perseus. I think a lot of it has got to do with it's got very traditional naval style turrets on it. In very, well, at least the one on the front is a very traditional naval style. If it's on the bottom in the Navy, you're probably doing it wrong. But, you know, you've got that sort of thing. And the bridge. For how many bridges are there where the bridge is in a traditional position? Bengal is one. The Javelin and the Idris, I mean, the Javelin's off to one side, but carriers do that. You've got the Idris, the Perseus. How many other?
Sorry, Badgers, I've just got to cut you off there. Holy moly, Pastor, thank you very much for that.
Wow. Guys,
and
that's really kind.
And Lee Bob, thank you for that as well, again.
I will say...
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
If I'm a blubbering wreck by the end of this...
Yeah. It does look like Execute was crying there, didn't it?
Yeah. So if we do go over what is required today, what I'll do is I'll turn that back into another ship that we'll do as a giveaway. To give it directly back to you guys, essentially. And I guess as a community, what we'll do is we'll maybe talk about that today. So if we do have extra money, what I might do is do like a community vote post. So just say we get, I'm going to pick an amount, right? Say we get an extra $200 or something like that. I'll go, here's some ships around $200. What one would you guys like as a giveaway in a community poll? And we'll just give the money, you know, straight back to you guys as a giveaway.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe Badgers gets a second Perseus. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it as a community. But we'll see. We did actually toy today, but I don't think I'm going to hold him to the flame. But I did say to Badgers, can you pick 3 names, and then we'll do a vote, and we'll pick the name of his ship. But I don't think he's comfortable with that.
Okay.
And then my alternative was then, right, we will pick 3 names, and you have to pick the final one. And he wasn't comfortable with that either. So I've kind of just left that out from today. But that's what I wanted to do.
If it's going to be anyway that way, it would be me choosing 3 names and then people having the choice of it at least. One would be the name that I actually wanted, and then the other 2 would be the name that I wanted with letters substituted for numbers.
Well, how about this then? You write them down, the 3 names, and we'll just do it for fun. We won't hold you to the flame. I don't think we'll. You know, if we all know that you're uncomfortable with that.
Yep.
So there's only one name. Is that what you're telling us in short?
So, well, I mean, there's the name it's going to be called.
Well, just tell us what that is.
I think we could have fun. We could come up with 2 other names to go alongside it, because someone kind of suggested, I think last week, and it was a really good suggestion, was why not come up with some old worldy kind of naval names. And there's some great ones out there. Like, in fact, there you go. There's the 3. So one would be the name that I do.
Look, we better read
the warship name.
Hang on, Badges.
Cut you off there, Badges.
We got like 5 super chats that we got to read because they all just came in thick and fast. So just let Algared read them out.
Wow.
So we've got Randall Lom, who has given another $10 donation, and his is and a crap ton of armor, and he's got a question for you that says, but wouldn't you rather a nice origin ship?
Oh! Right. Sorry. Sorry, just gag reflex. Sorry, can't help it.
Yeah.
And this is the Badges, so you've got to be quiet, Execute. So.
No, it's I agree with the gag reflex. No, not over the Perseus. No. However, the 400i has done a really, really good job of turning me around on my thoughts on Origin. I used to think they were very much style over substance, but I like the 400i. I think it's really good use of space. I love that they've got that little bit that comes down that's got the bike that is still in concept in it. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Guys, read supporters chat questions. Lemming needs something from you. Just send him it so he can give you access. So what Lemming is doing, just so you guys know, so it doesn't sound like it's too vague, is we also have some CCUs. So what Badges didn't know was someone contacted me in the comments of one of the videos about a couple of months ago, and they basically said, I've got this CCU I want to donate to Badges, and essentially it gave $350 off the Perseus. So we only need to kind of raise, I think it was about $315, or being the Inforunners, we'd also like it if you guys are willing to donate any CCUs that can fit into the chain. So we thought that would be a kind of cool thing to do as a community. Because it's not the type of thing that we've ever tried before, but it's kind of cool. Is can we crowdsource CCUs and build this amazingly sick chain to a ship? It's something like you guys obviously know about the $95 Carrick. Can we do something potentially on par with that would be freaking sick, you know? So that's the other way we could kind of go about doing this. But the amount of money you boys are throwing, I think we're almost already there.
Because we now have to go also to Jens Amok, who has graciously donated a purple donation of 500 NOK. I'm not sure what that is. But he says, come on, let's destroy all the trade lines in Star Citizen. So he's really keen for you to get that. And obviously he wants to be crewed with you. So,
yeah, well, more than happy for people who are Inforunners viewers or whatever, viewers from my channel to come and crew it. That would be awesome.
Axis just says this is in Twitch. He just says, I have an $80 Spartan LTI spare. So there you go. You've even got an LTI token, which almost knocks it down. Like we've easily already hit the target straight off the bat with the money that's been donated this week and last week. Go ahead, Algared. I'll come back to it.
And Steps TV says here's another $10 for 10 euro, I think.
Yeah.
To the Badges Perseus Fund.
There's one
and
there
then Sean Solo has also come in and he said, love the Perseus. It's my personal favourite ship as well. You deserve it. Keep being awesome. So there you go.
Yeah.
And I think at that point we've done we've actually talked about all of our donations so far. So that is fantastic.
Just to say 500 NOK is about $50 roughly.
Yeah, so if you have a CCU that you're interested in donating and you're on the Discord, reach out to either Lemming or Can. They're the boys in the background kind of organising that for us so we can keep kind of driving the show. But if you have one, what we'll do is when these boys get it organised, because I know they're trying to do it in the background and I've thrown them under the bus with a very difficult task to do as they move, they're building out in an Excel sheet. So as you guys kind of donate CCUs, I just thought that was an interesting concept to try and crowdsource CCUs. I don't know how interesting that sounds to you guys, but to me that sounds kind of cool because that's kind of one of the things we do here, is CCUs. Is it interesting or not? But is that interesting to crowdsource? That sounds cool to me. Like how cool? Like it's almost the ultimate thing because like you generally just have your own CCUs, but to be able to like put that to a massive wide audience and go, just how cool can we get that? It's a very and I know not everyone here probably watches Fix My Fleet, but you know the one thing we've learned about the Fix My Fleet audience is you guys are damn dedicated. Like some of the things we hear just blow my mind, like people going to work and just listen to it on loop and stuff like that.
Or just put it on, and just have them run through. I think Shempass has got a really good point there, is that the advantage of it, he says it'd be good, but or interesting, because he still doesn't understand CCUs. By doing the kind of crowdsourced, let's get all the CCUs we can, we can use it as this is how you do it, and actually go through the steps of how you use CCUs, and the advantage of buying those CCUs at different sales or as they appear, and looking for the different ones. And
just real quick,
so that whole
for canning lemming, make sure there's a column to say who it's from, because that's probably a cool idea as well. Just to make your life even more help. Do you want to read that one there, Algared? Another one just came in.
I will in a sec. I'm just answering that email request.
Yes, Jock Cop. I think we spoke to you last time around, didn't we? So Royal Navy name for it.
Yep.
Do you know what?
And
I think it would have to be. So your three names. I think Indefatigable would be one, because that's a solid warship
that
name.
is a good name.
The Righteous Indignation, and if anyone can tell me what that's from, bonus points. I don't know what you get for it, but bonus points. And there's lots of love for the Polaris as well in chat. And the other one is I have to check the spelling. It's either the Mobius or the Morbius Sire. 2 words.
What about the Forlorn
Hope?
There was a name. There was a name that was floated to me, and it was from Marek. You know who Marek is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to remember, and you're going to kind of laugh, and no one's going to understand why you're going to laugh, or you're going to hate it. But he was saying it was the name of Maragoth. Is that a name that rings a bell? Something like that? Or have I butchered it? I think I butchered it.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, Maragoth, something like that. And it was like one of these famous elves from Lord of the Rings, and he said you hated him or some shit. But yeah,
yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, or is that just completely fallen on flat ears?
No, I think that's. I don't know if it's from the new. Yeah, there you go. Adam Bruder got it. Bucky O'Hare, which was a cartoon all the way back when I was a kid.
Wow.
Called The Righteous Indignation. If you want to, I'll send you the link, because all of the episodes are on YouTube. I'll send you the link, X, if we want to jump across and quickly watch the intro for the intro's absolutely spot on.
I don't know. I haven't watched the cartoon.
I think you talked about Righteous Indignation and Bucky O'Hare last week.
I haven't watched the cartoons from that's the equivalent to Steamboat Willie in a while. Yeah.
And yes, Jock, it's glad to be back. It's also good to be back as well. So quite happy to be back.
Ken and Lemming, did you get my email? I did PM it to Lemming. Boys?
Here you go, X. So yes, I think they
Yep.
The Angry Badger.
The Angry Badger. I like that. Yep. There's actually a really good meme of that with the badger basically sticking its head out of its hole and baring its fangs, and it basically says, "You have angered the badger," and then under it, it's like, "I don't know what you did, but Christ, it's pissed."
Badgers, like almost. If it wasn't for terms of service, I'd also show them that cartoon that you showed me, the Avenge Me Brother.
Don't do that.
Yes, that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
I have to.
We might link that one, but that's funny.
All right. God, I'll have to find do it when I'm wearing this t-shirt during stream, because that'd be cool.
Yeah. So there's explain it why I get this set up, if you wouldn't mind. That what we're talking about, that Avenge Me Brother thing.
So if you guys haven't seen it, Flash Gets do animation on Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 stuff. They've started a series called The Furry Apocalypse, and it's basically Space Marines versus furries. Jock, do you know what? Warspite was the other name I was going to go for. Jock's just said Warspite is my Nautilus's name. That was the other name I was thinking of. It was either going to be Warspite or Indefatigable, or the Burn Rate Pillage, but I don't think I'd fit that in because of terms of service.
Yeah.
If I allowed you to do nose art, the Angry Badger with that cartoony picture of that badger you were talking about would be ideal.
Yeah.
So
that's the only reason. If I could get that nose art, I'd consider calling the ship the Angry Badger or something. If I could nose art that worked with it, but yeah.
Yeah, the honey badger we've had suggested as well, which is kind of cool. Blam, just answered it, mate. It's my name in the chat. So that's me.
Right, sorry, I haven't gone through all the frames and added my new camera yet. Algared, you're very off center today. I don't know what it is.
I know, and I was trying to work it out. I can't work out why I'm off center.
Just rotate the camera a little bit, maybe.
Wrong
way.
Matthew,
other way.
Best thing you can do, mate, is put question in brackets or something in front of your question, so we can pick it out of the chat and make sure it's answered, buddy.
All right, we ready to watch this? This only goes for a minute, so let's go.
Yeah, I'm on edge. That's right.
In another dimension, another time and space, a parallel universe is falling on its face. When out of the chaos, who else could it be? But the animal adventurers from SPACE. Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare. Mutants and aliens and toads beware. You're looking for adventure? Well, this is it. With Jenny, Deadeye, Blinky, and Willie do it. I said, Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare.
And now an update on Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars.
In the battle of the universe, you don't know what's next. You only know amphibians are made it complex. When you check out your scanner and the evil that it poses, there's only one course of action. Let's cook us some toads! Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare. He goes where no ordinary rabbit would dare. If your righteous indignation has suffered a hit, and your photon accelerator's broken a bit, and you're losing your mind, and you're having a fit, get the funky fresh rabbit who can take care of it. Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare. Bucky! I said Bucky! Bucky O'Hare. Let's croak us some toads.
I've never seen that before.
Was a thing of beauty.
I didn't even know that thing existed. It's clearly from around the same time period as the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that, because it's the same animation.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that.
Very old.
I didn't even know that existed. Yeah. So because in Algared, have you ever seen that before? Because I don't think that ever made it to Australia.
I was sitting there thinking, this looks familiar, but I can't recall seeing it. So
yeah, I don't think that made it down here, man. So that's totally new to me.
Yeah,
what we just saw there. So
and towards the end, he goes, "And your righteous indignation has suffered a hit." That's the ship they're in. So yeah, and then it will not be fix the engines. It won't be the quantum drive. It will be the photon accelerator. And if you don't like it, you know where the airlock is.
Well,
look up Wing Commander Academy. You will not regret it. Wing Commander Academy. All right, let's.
It is an animated, one of the last animated series that was done on the plastic, the cellophane type sheets, and it is the cartoon version of Wing Commander with Mark Hamill doing the voice for.
All right, how long does this go?
His main character.
51 seconds, but I got to switch it back over so you boys can hear it. Hold on. No, wrong one. Sorry. That one. All right, here we go. One more time. Man, it's square screen. Taking me back. Sorry, I have to go back. Did anyone else see the Idris just fly by?
No, you saw the tiger claw fly by.
I know. They need to put that like on televisions in the verse. Like they have like, welcome to the news, blah blah blah. We'll break for this ad, and then just like so randomly it just and this goes off to an advert and then it has that in the background. That'd be funny.
There are, I think, 12 or 13 cartoons in the series.
Yeah,
I could get the disc and double check that, but yeah.
But it would be actually pretty funny because they could what do you call it? They could do a whole series, like have the whole series playing in the background. But they'd have to get the rights to it. That'd be the other problem. So yeah. Alrighty. No. I just got a warning. Heads up, we've detected copyrighted audio on your video on stream. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. So one of those that we played just triggered it. So we've got to be careful.
That would probably have been the Wing Commander one, I think. Because you can still buy the discs.
Well, it's just audio. It would have been the first one because there's voice in
the song.
Yeah, the song. It would have been the first one. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, Ted, it works.
Worst case scenario, this stream gets demonetized, but that's fine. It's all good. All right. Do we want to take some questions then, Badges?
Yeah, sure. So, here you go.
We're gonna have to manually pull them out though because the bot's not working. But I'll get. I'll talk to Pickles about that after.
So EDS Kepler asks, I have Endeavor, Redeemer, Raylan, Retaliator, and 1 LTI token. Right. What do you think I should get this token to?
Hang on. Wait a second.
Pull them up on the screen.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to put them
start
up.
the.
Yeah. So what was it again? What was the first one?
So we had Endeavor.
Endeavor. Yep. What was it? What else was there?
Redeemer.
Be helpful if I could type, wouldn't it? What was the next one?
Raylan. Yep.
And
Retaliator.
Got a lot of ships starting with R. Bomber or base? Or it doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
I'm gonna assume it's the bomber. What else?
And 1 LTI token.
I'll just put a meal. All right, and then.
And basically, what should be the LTI token go to?
I guess the follow-up question is, what do you want to do in game?
Yep.
He's got a bit of cargo, a bit of smuggling, Endeavor. Yeah, that's the standard question that we always ask when we do Fix My Fleet is, what do you want to do in game? Because that really dictates what we say, you know?
Yep. Star Jumps in chat.
Hey, Grim, get on the new scale of the spirit. It's wrong now. I did a really cool image on the... Wait, hang on, look. I did a really cool image on the community tab. And then literally using your hanger link, and then literally 24 hours later, it's now out of date because of course they do that to us, Grim. So yeah.
Because it's now 49 meters.
Yeah.
So 47.8 or something like that, or some weird amount.
It's like they don't even think about what we have to do, Grim. So Grim's actually got to go back and he's got to re-render all those images and everything, and yeah, it's what a pain in the butt. But yeah, we appreciate it, Grim, because it's very, very useful. So yeah, let us know when you get it updated, man, and we'll do it. So yeah.
He says Starlet will update it in just a short bit.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
throw Starlet under the bus. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we got another message asking about his ship?
Kepler said to be out in space for a week plus.
Oh, jeez. Out in space for a week plus.
Odyssey.
Yeah, I'd almost say Carrick, actually.
Odyssey, Carrick.
Yeah, Carrick's the only one I'd really kind of think could even attempt that. Even a lot of these ships here can't do that. So yeah.
I know.
Endeavor could, I think.
Apple Crow says don't say Carrick. Okay, we won't say Carrick.
Carrick.
I know what X really wants to recommend with this LTI token is the and I've just lost the name of it. What is wrong with me this evening? The Eclipse.
Crucible.
The Eclipse.
That's what he wants to recommend because he loves it.
No. Execute really wants to
especially at his current price point these days.
No. Execute wants to recommend the 890 jump because he loves Origin so much.
Actually, before he said he wants to stay out for a week, I was going to say, well, the standard answer would probably be a Crucible for the L2.
Yeah, well, and that's right, isn't it? If we were just given what 2 ships should I get, we would normally say Crucible and an Endeavour because they're both still at their original concept pricing and they're both going to blow. And John Ski says 200. John Ski says $200, and he says dance monkey. So who's doing the dancing?
You're gonna have to dance. Oh, we'll all do it. Let's do it. No.
There you go. Yeah. You channeled your John Travolta there.
And seeing as you've given such a generous donation, I'll let you in on a little secret. Something in the Navy, Jock Cop might know about this. Something in the Navy that we do. It's called the Matlow Shuffle, and it is simply you click your fingers, you move your head one way, you click it, you move it back the other way, and it's
my dad.
The Matlow Shuffle,
clicking the fingers and
that is the advanced Matlow school of dancing.
That's
so
that's what you do when you can't dance, isn't it? That's what I thought that was.
Yeah. Or the apple off a tree, put it in the basket. Apple off a tree.
Shut your mouth.
Apple off a tree, put it in the basket. Yep. There you go, John. You've got 2 minutes or at least 30 seconds of us each being silly, doing silly type of dancey type moves. So
if this appears, if this footage appears anywhere else,
we're going to kill you.
What does Phantom Kitten say? Buy 3 $35 Steves and CC up LTI done. Like, what? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Am I reading that out? I think I'm reading that out of context.
He's saying buy 3 STVs.
Yeah. Yeah, but it seems like it's out of context. What's that in regards to Face Kitten? Face Kitten's on Twitch, by the way, guys.
All right, so Face Kitten is saying buy 3 STVs and CC you up for LTI. So basically, buy 3 STVs as LTI tokens and just CC them all up to those ships. So is what I think he's saying.
So whose fleet is this on screen right now? Who was this again? Because I do have another follow-up question.
This was
this is EDS Kepler's.
So Kepler, usually we want 3 professions. So you said you want to stay out for a week, but what I actually want are what are the top 3 professions you want to do in game?
Well, I think what he said, he did respond to you earlier. Sorry, I didn't read it out because we were too busy dancing. But he said that he wants to spend a week out built around the Endeavour and this fleet. So what would we add to this fleet with that LTI to have the entire fleet do...
Algared, I'm actually leaning towards Nautilus now he said that.
Nautilus, I could see a Starfarer working with it.
True.
Or a refinery ship. To Nautilus, and I was thinking Starfarer because it can harvest fuel and process the fuel to refuel the fleet.
But but you know what I'm saying, Nautilus, because it ups the
and
defense.
I know Nautilus is again that defensive perimeter, and it gives you a big pew pew gun to help stand behind the mines and do that.
And I'd probably say upgrade the Retaliator to a Polaris for the same reason. But that's just kind of where my mind goes.
The hangars, well, the Redeemer, the Retaliator won't fit on them, will they?
Well,
in the Endeavours.
Technically speaking, the Apollo is the smallest large ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Redeemer is technically a medium, so yeah, it should.
So it depends on whether they say the hangar takes 2 Apollos or it can only take 1 Apollo. We don't. Those dimensions of that hangar we don't know yet.
Yeah. So actually, why don't I just add an Apollo in since I'm on that screen? Hold on. But I might have my math wrong actually, because I think the mule is actually sorry, not the mule. I think my math is out again. I think I've remembered incorrectly. Hang on, just give me a minute. I think the Apollo's like, because I know the mule, the mole is 38, and I think this is see, it is. It's 43, so it's actually smaller than the Redeemer. Yeah.
So we know that
so this must be a large
were said to take.
This must be a large on a medium. Sorry,
Yeah. We know that the hangars on the Endeavour were originally said to take 2 Cutlass. We know that John Crew has said it will be able to take an Apollo, but we don't know whether it's going to be 2 Apollo or 1 Apollo or how it's going to change. So
I'm meaning more to the line, if they keep it to metrics, that means that hangar would have to be a large hangar. And at the moment, there is no ship that has a large hangar. None. So I think it's more likely to be a bespoke thing, kind of like the Carrick and the Perseus arrangement, because otherwise, like, large ships go up quite large. Like the put it this way, the Carrick itself is a large ship. That means, could you land a Carrick on an Endeavour? I think not, because it's 130 meter long hangar. That's pretty crazy, and it's almost triple the length of the Apollo itself.
Well, we know that from things that Paul said in the past, that at one point when they were doing the mapping or working out how big the Endeavour was, it was like as big as a Bengal. And I think the idea of that was when they put when they were doing the white boxing, putting in all the components and all the things they wanted to put in the Endeavour, it was like, all right, that's how it is. If we just put everything where we want it or where we're thinking it goes, now let's play around and bring it back to a realistic level. So we don't really know the size, but at one point it has been
on a real quick tangent. Grim is talking about how he's working on he's just said there he's working on an alternative ship spawning method. if I was going to do it, Grim, I'd literally just have tick boxes that you can tick, and then there's just like an apply button or something like that, or, you know, well, that's just how I do it. But I don't know the interface. I don't know what your restraints are, but that's just kind of like even maybe in a way to expand this so it fills the entire screen and it just has every single ship, kind of very similar to Star Hanger, and you just tick all the boxes, because that thing is just so convenient to spawn compared to this. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you go through and do some UE stuff. I recently went through. Hang on, I recently went through with Starlet and worked on some Hanger Link stuff as well. Sorry.
I was going to say, and to carry on with the theme from last week, if you really want Execute to play the role of monkey and have to do work, and you want a particular ship up on the screen, just super chat with the name of the ship, and we'll make Execute put it up.
Going to be a bit hard to do a fix my fleet and this at the same time. But I guess I'll make it work.
It's making your life miserable.
Yeah.
I know this is a Badger's roast, but hey, this is making Badgers feel a little better that you're being roasted as well.
Yeah, so maybe reach out and we'll do a proper fix my fleet with you. We do have a couple. We've got 2 in the bag recorded for AIE, but I wouldn't mind getting a couple more. So if you really want help, and this seems to be the time where most people reach out. So yeah, if you want to, even if we don't do a show, just reach out and me and Algared will get in that. We do want to get Badgers doing more of them, but he's kind of reluctant to give financial advice. It makes him feel awkward. I'll let you speak for yourself, Badgers. You tell people why you don't want to do 55 fleets.
So one of the things that I said to myself when I first got into this game, well before I met the Inforunners, was that I'm not going to get into the habit of telling people what to do with their money. So you'll notice a lot of the times when Execute and Algared are talking about the financial value and CCUs and all that sort of stuff. I don't understand the CCU game well enough as these two gents do. So that's their bag. Absolutely. They've got so much knowledge about it. I just get lost in the conversation. But with people's money and stuff, I'm a dude with a webcam. I've got a mic. I've got headsets. And I'm in no position to tell you guys what to do with your money because I don't pay enough attention to it. That's not to say no one can't. The advice from these guys, they've won me over. They'll tell you that they've won me over on practically everything we've talked about with regards to value. And one thing we all universally agree with is, and this is part of the Perseus, is when the Perseus came out, I wanted it really, really badly, but I just couldn't justify the price tag. And I think we all kind of saw that when it first came out. And we see it with other things. And you guys will know that the ships you go, yeah, I really want that, but not at that price point.
Yeah, you do struggle at times to justify or rationalize the price point. And sometimes it's just, I want a gift for myself because, hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is inexpensive. And I don't think it's that we're saying, hey, this is what you need to do. It's if people say what, because again, I'm just a talking head.
So what?
A talking head with more money than sense.
So what Badgers doesn't seem to get though is people really value his military expertise. Even I do, right? And so even if you don't want to talk about their value, you can leave that to me in Algared. That's fine. What people do like to hear from you, and I know this from the things I've read and things that people said to me, is that you just have a perspective, especially from the Navy. We have a lot of people from Air Force and Army, but we don't have too many. You're the only Navy Inforunner, put it that way, right? So people value that insight, and that's what you can bring to a thing like Fix My Fleet. You've got that military knowledge that neither Algared and I have. So it's a completely different perspective that we don't have.
Yeah,
and that's what people value.
More than happy to get in from the kind of point of view of logistics and everything else. Yep. But I don't want to take anything away from these guys because they know what they're talking about. They know, the way around the CCUs. They know the way around the value of the system far better than pretty much anyone else. I can't think of a single person that I would say even comes close to touching you two. I just don't. I don't want to take away from that. But if people want kind of that military input on Fix My Fleets and stuff, call me up. I shall be more than happy to be there.
Mm. So maybe we might get you in on some Fix My Fleets that are more military-esque in the future. So it's at least in your wheelhouse. Because the other one, actually, while you're here, Grim, are you still here? Let me know. But ironically, there's a series that me, you, and SA we've only done 2 episodes. What was called "What Will It Take"? Do you remember that? And Grim and Ender have started the exact same thing. I don't think they realize they've done it, but they've started the exact same thing called Fleet Builders. And they do it on their Twitch stream. And it's so actually what I would like to do one time, Grim, is we'll do a collab stream. And we will do like a What Will It Take Fleet Builder, whatever you want to call it, and all 5 of us will get in on it and do it. I think that'll be a bit of fun, just a bit of cross pollination there. So I think because we haven't done many episodes, we've only done 2, and it's one of those things we do when we're a bit tired or whatever, and what we would essentially call an Inforunners filler episode. But they are fun; they're just easier for us to do. It's one of those episodes where we can just kind of chill out. Algared hasn't done one, so we might even get you in on one. But it was just something I did with the military guys because them both being military, I always feel like I am completely about to be decimated. The thing that surprised myself in both the episodes is they weren't far off your boys either. So maybe you've rubbed off on me, and I've learned a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, Apple Crow's comment about that fleet is that it's missing a 600i or an 890 jump. So that's his point. EDS Kepler came back and said, "I do think about growing weed on the 890 jump, like probably most other people who consider getting an 890 jump with the biodome." So, old man Al Hurston wants to use it as a cattle transport ship. Here's, for the biodome. So there you go.
Well,
sorry, did you say an 890 jump with biodome? So I was picturing this 890 jump with like some kind of herd of cattle inside it and going, yes, just cow patties everywhere and an 890 jump. Sounds delightful.
No. We're talking with biodomes.
I just got the image of some millionaire jumping into the pool, kind of swimming around, kind of pulls up, leaning on the side of the pool, looking at the plants, going, wait,
are they ready?
No. And then a Jamaican walks past. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. How you doing?
I love these plants.
We've got them. Obviously, if old man Hurston is a cattle farmer and he's also doing Evercrack. Evercrack must be a byproduct of the cattle for some reason, whether it's cat girls or otherwise. And then since Paul often talks about the spice must flow, then, Evercrack must also be a spice. So...
Well, that'd be really cool if we can ever get them to make Evercrack in lore. I think that'd be really, really funny. Because it also pays homage to EverQuest, but it'd also be kind of funny if they could, it's like a drug that they just can't seem to get rid of from Hurston and they don't know why. And maybe it's got something to do with it makes people breathe easier or something, something...
Because old man Hurston...
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and maybe that's it. There's some drug dealer there called Old Man Hurston. He just happens to look like you. That'd be kind of funny. And they just can't stop him. It'd be really funny. Axis writes in Twitch, I wonder what the new mining ship will be. And he says RSI or Argo. Now, let's talk about that. Because we haven't talked about that. So I'm going to hang on. Let's switch this back to the.
Should we just finish off with EDS Kepler's fleet before we go to
that? Okay then. I think we kind of have though. But you tell me.
I hate to say it. If we took the medevac out of that, I tell you what, I think it's, let's say, and I know Apple Crow is going to hate me for this. Is it Carrick?
Yeah, I do.
And I'll tell you,
I do think it is. Carrick.
Yeah, I do. I tell you for why EDS is because it gives you a medical facility. It gives you space for a shuttle, should you want it. And I think shuttles are massively underrated. I think they're going to come up in value, although I have no basis on that other than my own thinks.
Well, you and I use the
medical bed.
You and I use the Perseus a lot, and it is very, very good little ship.
The Pisces.
The C8X.
What did I say?
Perseus.
I said Perseus.
The Perseus.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got Perseus in the brain. Yeah, Pisces. Sorry, I meant Pisces. Sorry, yeah. I got it on the brain.
Execute really wants a Perseus as well, obviously.
Everybody wants the Perseus. So Yeah, so it gives you a medical bed, which you don't have at the minute, depending on the modules that you have on your Endeavour. But this gives you the option to have the hydroponics, so you can grow your own food and stuff like that.
Carrick is even more than that for this fleet, though, because it's also got the repair facilities.
Exactly. And what you've done is you've given yourselves the ability to land, the ability to repair, your medical facility, a little bit more carriage space. The only other thing that I would replace with it instead of that, because you've still got stuff that needs to land and be carried around because they're going to be massively range limited, is a Kraken.
Yeah,
But
so I think
I
think he's got a no, but everything you're saying is correct, right? So these are your options. If you're just going one ship, I would say everything Badger said. So either a Carrick or Kraken, but I also think Polaris and Nautilus are on the table as well, because the Polaris can do everything the Kraken he just said. The advantage of the Polaris over the Kraken is the hangar becomes metric, so it's not just the Pisces. It opens you up to all the other ships in that size category, but obviously it's not as long ranges focused as the Carrick, but you do get a lot more defensive or offensive abilities, with the Polaris. Same with the Nautilus. So it all just comes down to how much money you want to put into it, mate.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So that'll be the next question. But seriously, reach out to Algared, myself, and we'll go through it.
And just to chuck in again, like looking at the Crucible, that gives you that repairability. It doesn't. You'd lose the ability to have a med bed, but it's also got the hangar or the Scarab, which actually can land ships or dock ships to it. So you could actually use that for helping ships, helping the other ships in the fleet either repair or land or whatever. So there are pluses and minuses for every ship that's been mentioned, and it's really you've got to work out.
Yeah, so that's us going to the next step, right? So we go to the next steps, but that means we've got to sit down with you and talk to you. Carlston Christensen says, Execute needs a CAT scan. No, I'm just trying to do many things at once. These boys will tell you, it's why I get so scatterbrained, because you might just see me talking to a camera, but I'm looking at chats and I'm talking to people in the background and stuff like that as well. So, yeah.
Kevin Beckhand is basically just done the first two-word proposal I've ever seen in chat. He's proposed to me in 2 words. Kevin, you had me at Perseus Wolfpack. Yes, I will be your husband. Yeah, sorry, mate. Too embarrassing.
I love that name of that ship. Read that. So in the super chat, just read that. Read that. I'd
like to propose the name Drinkers with Turret Problems.
So that's from Fivers.
That's brilliant. I love that name. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
So thanks for that super chat and that question.
Yeah,
that statement. Fivers, most appreciated.
So I'm going to see if I can zoom this in a bit. There we go. So I think we can all kind of safely agree now that RSI is going to win this. But I kind of want to float it to you. Actually, Algared, can you do this as a poll? And it's so the poll I want is Argo, MISC, RSI, and then the last one I want is other. Right, and what I mean by other is the thing that really pissed me off about this poll, and I want to know it from the community, and I want to know it from you guys too. Are you annoyed that it wasn't another manufacturer that wasn't already pre-existing in the mining vein? It kind of annoyed the shit out of me, honestly. I'm not talking about whether it was Drake or Consolidated Outland or whatever. What I'm saying is I just would have rather it to not been a pre-existing one. And I don't know. You guys tell me. So yeah. Feel like there are some other secret chat that we're not including. Heavy Bob, you are very aware. Yeah. So we're on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, Heavy Bob. So yeah, you can talk on either, but we see both. Like we got it. So I'm sharing my screen, and as of this week, we have the both chats on the same screen. Previously, I had the Twitch chat on a separate screen, and everyone else had to open it for themselves. But now I've got it doing both, so we can. We'll definitely be reading a lot more stuff from Twitch now because I've rejigged it so it's got as much priority as YouTube does. So yeah. But yeah, you got that poll ready to go, or Is that all good, Algared?
At the moment, I can get. Okay, so first poll is going to be: would you rather another manufacturer not already in mining?
No. Hang on. Let me do it then. Just let me do it. Hang on. What menu?
Whilst we're going for this, what did you choose, Algared? What would you choose if forced?
If I was, I would have preferred to have seen probably Grey Cat. I would have liked to have seen Grey Cat as a mining ship because they have the history of mining. But the PTV the original PTV is an unarmored version of the mine traversal vehicle that was built to protect miners from cave-ins.
Yeah,
so they clearly have a mining history. I would have loved to have seen a mining ship, but I can fully understand why we've got these three manufacturers, because they can use the mining assets from every one of those ships or contribute to the mining assets of the Orion. So it makes perfect sense, but I'd have liked to have seen a Grey Cat.
Can you see my frustration, boys? That I can't even click on my own poll. There we go. Oh, now I gotta sign. Oh, so that's why it's not letting me in. All right, hang on. That's why.
Could that be the
That's why the thing wasn't up.
issue?
Yeah, that is the issue. That is 100% the issue.
Oh, thank God, because chatbot's kicking my bottom right now.
Oh no. That's got nothing to do with the chat.
Okay.
Do you know what I reckon it is? I reckon it is the the handle thing that you and I were talking about. I think they've updated like channel stuff, and I think because they've updated the channel stuff, it's knocked the bot out. So they've changed the way the back end works, and so it's knocked the bot out.
Gotcha. Drazen's put in chat for the miner consolidated outland.
Yeah,
it's an interesting notion.
Hang on, I get my phone.
I could have seen them as well, because they do the outlandish things they do, and they do have the Pioneer, which kind of is planetary stuff. I could see them being the maker of that large mining vehicle we saw in the stream with that little person next to it. The one that everyone says, "Oh, it's a mole. It's a variant of a mole. It's a variant of a mole. It's a bloody big mole."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see them doing it, but they don't have that history of mining behind them like Grey Cat. And all we've got from Grey Cat are shitty little mining vehicles. Where's their large mining vehicle? Where's their refinery? All we've got, they're the makers of the mining tool. They're the makers of... Yeah, so I would have liked to have seen more Grey Cat.
That's really weird. It didn't send a code to my phone. I'll try again. So what I'm trying to do, guys, here that you guys can't see is I'm trying to log in. Because for some reason it wasn't letting me typing on the chat on the screen. There we go.
Yep. And Monster Avi has a $20 donation for us, and he says, in my opinion, mining mill opinion, thoughts on application are always valuable, even if you don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about the spending aspect. So you're giving your military opinion and thoughts on application are always valuable. And
yes, I can see that.
But I think even just giving your thoughts on where you think value in a ship is, like we will sometimes say, "Oh, like I can't see the value of this ship. This ship is useless," and you might come and say, "Well, this ship's valuable because it boom, 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 boom," and it changes perspective. And so it's like Execute always says: the more brains you get talking about or thinking about an issue, the clearer sometimes the idea is. Whereas it's just a single voice or one person thinking in a vacuum, you make all manner of errors or all manner of. So yeah. So I think you're right there.
I can't fix the chat till we redo till I restart OBS. So we are operating now with a dysfunctional chat until I can get it fixed. So sorry guys, you're gonna have to open YouTube on your own end. Sorry, I stuffed it. I was trying to fix it and I made it worse.
completely unrelated to the stream or anything going on in it. As we were talking there, X, I just got an email. The people that I bought the Furry Apocalypse t-shirt from, the Avenge Me Brother t-shirt, have expanded the range now to include sweaters and hoodies. So I will be ordering one of those soon.
I hope that's for Algared and not for me.
Well, I mean, if you want one, X, you can more than... I was thinking getting you one of the mouse pads when they come back in stock.
Oh, yeah. SA's got one of those. SA one. So if you guys know about those mouse pads that they almost have for anime girls with the gel pads, they made one of those, but it's got the fairy's butt. I sent it to SA.
It's on that link that I sent to you, mate. So
we'll just put it in chat and people can have a look for themselves if they want. I don't know if we can necessarily bring it up for terms of service, but they can definitely have a look in their own time. It is funny. We enjoyed it, and I'm not necessarily hugely into Warhammer. Badges is big into it, but I can still relate to the thing, and I find it quite funny. So yeah,
I'm not into it, and I enjoy. And I was sitting there laughing.
Yeah.
So very quickly,
it was good relief.
Monster AV's just super chatted. Is that the one that you read out earlier?
That is the one I read out. Yes.
I'm confusing myself now. This is great. Sorry, I'm trying to cut and paste comments because our chat bot isn't working. So I'm half hearing things, and I do apologize. I'd actually
I know that feeling.
I'd responded to someone saying something very similar in chat earlier, and that's what I thought was being read out. So yes, AV, you're entirely right. I can certainly talk about the military aspect and what would fit the gaps without the. So you should definitely buy that tagged onto the end. So yeah, absolutely. Lots of questions asking SA. We should certainly do that Fix My Military Fleet show. Yes. Absolutely. Come in with 3 ships, leave with 35. Yeah.
Sorry, boys. The boys are struggling because I'm moving stuff around on them. So they're.
I've got no idea what's going on anymore.
Yeah. So I'm putting a browser over the top so you guys can see the chat after I butchered it. So there you go. So you got the chat back kinda, but I'm cheating to do it. So yeah. Hopefully. You can
I think we've got all the questions now because I noticed I've put one up that you've put up. So.
Yep.
So hopefully it means we're up to date.
Yep.
Heavy Bob, if you I'm reading from Twitch chat, and there's a very, very funny exchange.
Yeah.
Heavy Bob says, "See pre-recording nothingness." Someone else has said, "Cavion's gone. Is this pre-recorded for real?"
Yes.
Heavy Bob's gone. Yeah, I asked the host. He confirmed it was pre-recorded. Brilliant. Yeah.
Cavion, this is 100% pre-recorded, man. 100% pre-recorded.
Record everything. Yeah.
I have just mind
readers.
I have brought up Twitch chat now, so it's made me laugh quite a bit. I have brought up Twitch chat now, so if you've got questions, guys, just put question in brackets, and I'll pick it out and add it to the list of stuff we still need to answer.
Lemming or Can, do you actually have the Excel sheet by any chance? Can I get a
So
link?
if you take care of the YouTube,
hang on.
badges,
Yes,
I'll take care of pulling out the questions from Twitch.
Thank you.
I'll
Boys.
do the YouTube.
Appreciate it.
yes. So the spreadsheet was sent to everybody that gave me their email.
Did you send? Can you send me a link to it? Because you obviously emailed it to me. I don't want to open up my email on stream. That's okay. But yeah, if you can just send me an editable link, and then we'll open it and people can see what we've done.
I just don't want the editable link to leak because people will be able to edit it.
It won't. Again, if you just PM it to me directly, I can click it and open it. They won't see it. It's fine.
Yep.
So yeah. So let's talk about this poll real quick, and then we can kind of move on. So basically, after that poll, 24% said other. 33% still said RSI, which I find interesting. And then Argo was 26 and Miss was 17. Okay, so I'm not in the majority there, so obviously I'm off the mark there. But I would have liked it to be something that's just we didn't already have. What do you guys think the appeal is for RSI having 2 mining ships? I personally don't quite see it, but please tell me why you think it is, or tell me in chat too, because you got 1. Why do you want 2? Wouldn't you rather more variety than all from the same manufacturer? I've heard people say, oh, it forces them to build the RSI Orion sooner, which is bullshit. It doesn't force them to do anything. If the gameplay's not there, they ain't going to build shit. You know? It just means you're going to end up with 2 mining ships eventually, but that come from RSI. It doesn't mean you're going to get it sooner, but by that's hogwash.
Anyone who thinks that just because you get a smaller mining ship from RSI means that the Orion will come out sooner is an idiot. You're dreaming.
Yeah, they're completely different.
You're deluded.
They're completely different gameplays too, and the Orion is a completely different. It's why we don't have the Orion already, because it's completely different from the way the Prospector and the Mole works, because they've got lasers. This one's got big crunches and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
What Matthew, it does do...
Sorry,
go Badgers.
Sorry, Matthew responded to Janos Morrissey in chat. Janos, I think, is looking at the one on the RSI website, not the one on our poll. So that's the difference.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry, Algared.
So the only thing it really does is it helps them build up the look of an RSI miner, which will contribute to the Orion when they get around to building it.
Yeah. So more RSI industrial is probably the best way to call that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've already got some other bigger, older. You got the Bengal that they've done. Connie. You've got the Mantis. We've seen there's a really wide, and you got to be honest. If you really think about it, RSI is probably going to have the biggest spectrum of ships of anyone because they're the oldest manufacturer in the entire game. So I would expect them to have the biggest change in depth and width of anything, personally.
Grey Cat.
Is Grey Cat just as old, or?
Yeah.
Grey Cat are ancient as well, same as who was it?
Algared. Yeah, Algared. He's ancient as well. Yeah.
Argo are also. There are a few companies that are old like RSI. Argo is one of them. Grey Cat is another. So they're pretty old, but Argo is certainly one of the oldest.
Yeah.
They started off doing the rail systems on Earth, and repairing the rail systems and doing the mass transport systems for cargo to the different spaceports and other stuff. And as they developed, they found that they were having loggerheads, and then built ships to actually solve the problems they were getting with delays in being able to load ships, which is where the MPVU came into existence. So they are as old, if not older, than RSI. If you go back into history.
I haven't voted yet, but I would go RSI purely because the other two have dedicated miners. So MISC has the Prospector, Argo has the Mole. RSI, the Orion is a refinery strip mining behemoth. So, I think Matthew said it right in chat. It was like, RSI just makes some goddamn beautiful looking ships.
Kind of. Now I've heard a bit of that though. What Algared said about Argo being really old too. We don't really have any big ships from Argo, so I kind of lean more towards Argo now than RSI. Ironically enough, if I had to pick between the two, MISC for me, I think Algared will probably be in the same boat here. I'm a little bit, annoyed with the Odyssey, so I just don't want another big MISC ship at the moment. Thanks very much. But I do know some people are a little bit turned off by the orange of Argo, but obviously you can change the color, so I don't get that. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Like, everyone has an opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I think that's why votes like this are really telling. And in doing a lot of the polls we've done, I found that I'm sometimes in the majority and I'm sometimes in the minority, and I actually find it really interesting doing these polls with you guys, especially. Like last week when I was doing the live stream and we did the ones on the Spirit, they were really telling, and I was really kind of surprised that people agreed with me. But yeah, and then obviously today I'm completely in the wrong.
I do have a question for Biker Scout from the Twitch stream. He had a question which was, would it not be best to have a single fighter in that fleet, just in case? I assume can you just clarify? I'm assuming you're talking about Kepler's fleet.
No.
Can you just clarify for that for me?
But no, you don't want a fighter because you can do one mission and you can get a fighter really quickly with a bigger ship.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. It's all about value.
Yep.
I even had a discussion with a guy last night. He was saying exactly the same thing. I just want to keep this Saber, and I'm like, yeah, but I just sit there for 20 minutes and like go through it with him and say, you know, you agree with this? Yes, you agree with this. And then when we got to the end of it, he's like, you've just talked yourself out of it, because there is no point having that. Like, you can have it now, right? So I basically worked out in what ship he'd want to turn it into and just have an exit strategy. So he kept his Saber for now, and he picked up I can't remember what the CC was, but say he wanted it a Crucible, right? You'd pick up a Crucible CCU, and then eventually he's just going to fill the gap between the Saber and the Crucible and turn it out. So he can play with the Saber now, but don't keep it. Day one, you can go out and do one mission on the Crucible and be able to buy the Saber, you know, because they just don't scale that way.
That is a true statement. And when we're looking at fixed my fleets, we are always looking at the value for that bang for buck. And small ships, fighters, they might be great ships to fly, but because they're so cheap to buy in game, and we see that in game at the moment, they're not good value for your hard-earned cash. You'd be better off putting that cash into, say, a bigger ship you want. Now, if you've got the biggest ship you want and you've already put the cash in and you're sitting there with $100 of credits and you're going, what ship do I want? And there's a $100 fighter or a ship that you really want, then yeah, add it in at that point. But if you're still, you know, and then if a ship comes along that you do want, then you CCU that up to whatever you want. But basically, it's not exactly chalk and
I think over the years, to make this make this really short and simple, there is now not a single strategy that you cannot deploy that gives you exactly what you want. We're at that point now where you know, there's no reason you can't go through the strategy and have everything you want now and everything you want later. You know, there is now, we've almost had every single, that one with Zebras that there's a guy, a gentleman called Zebras that we're doing a Fix My Fleet with. Hopefully his fleet was so, like, the plan that we came up with in the end for that was so different to anything we've done in recent memory. But besides that, Algared, I would say we're at that point now where, you know, and that did break the rule, that fleet, quite a bit. But still, it's a rule. It is a rule, right? Like, it is a rule that we've made. But it's just, how often would we deploy that? I don't want to give away the solution, but you know what I mean? Like, how often do we... I don't think we've ever deployed that solution. But it was a solution, yeah?
Well, I think it's more a rule you hold to. But yeah.
Yeah, but be honest, how often have we deployed that said rule?
No, we usually don't, because...
Yeah. No, sorry, Algared, what I was saying is when I say a rule, I mean what you recommended in that. So now we're getting vague and people don't understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I still agree with that, right? But it just doesn't... That you recommended doesn't come around very often. It's a really rare fix, and that's why that's a really important fix my fleet to get out there. And that's why I
had to also be specific, because you came up with another option, and I said no. And as we looked at it, you went, "Oh crap, you're right."
Yeah, I hate admitting Algared's right, but because he's almost what we're talking about is something that is almost never recommended here, right? And it was this fix though. It was Algared was right, and I was completely wrong. Well, not in a big fighting sense, but once we worked through the problem, what Algared was suggesting was the right way to go. When we do that episode, you'll see what we're talking about.
It wasn't Badgers saying, "I don't like it when Mummy and Daddy fight."
Yeah, exactly. Badgers,
and
you're
even
muted.
That wasn't a fight.
Badgers, you're muted.
No, it was me saying I can't, or me trying to say I can't fit a fucking word in edgeways. But if I were able to, then what I would do is I would say, Kodiak, thank you very much, $20 super chat, because Badgers needs a Perseus. Badges does need a Perseus. Thank you very much, mate. I'd also say thank you very much. 21 euros from Edison Trent. Edison, love you, dude. To get badges, the best value ship in the game, the Perseus, Wiki Face. And then Adelphia's, Adelphia AZ. Because badges needs a Perseus. $20 US. Thank you ever so much, guys.
This
really appreciate it.
This supposedly...
But basically, what I did was I got a piece of paper and wrote "Thank you for the super chat, Kodiak," because I couldn't fucking say anything, and it just does. Look, I hold it up and I disappear. Great success.
Yeah, that's
because I'm using software to blank out the background. So
he's using NVIDIA Broadcast because he's having lighting issues with the green screen.
I'm actually sat on the actual bridge of an actual Perseus, but it's classified, so you only get to see the picture of the turret. So there. Yeah.
But it wasn't that we were being rude bastards and just trying to not listen to it. Is it you?
I mean, there's basically that. Yeah.
Anyway, do we have another question? I was going to say, there's not many roasting going on in these comments. They're all saying, you know,
we love badges.
We love badges. Yeah, it's very ego-stroking for you. Yeah. But yeah, it was meant to be a roasting, and there's not a lot of roasting going on. But we'll see what happens. Alex Drew, first time chatter on Twitch. All hail, or hail, or yeah.
X. That must be because the only asshole in this stream, including chat, is you.
He's talking about you.
I love you.
That's all right.
Oh, dear son.
All right. We're gonna any more questions, guys? Because I know we're doing it manually today, but I reckon that's what's happening.
On Gibbsy,
the bot.
If you want, John Bigsby, if you wish that question to be mentioned, because it is a roast, you need to super chat it. I'm sorry. Or do how do you do it in? How do you do a super chat in Twitch?
You would. I guess you do bits or something. No, just Badges has a small head. What?
Yeah.
I would say he's got the biggest head of the lot of us. What are you talking about?
Badges has got a gigantic. My nickname is Giganto.
You know, so I think it's that the having his ego expanded. I think is what he's referring to.
Yes. Allow me to get closer to the camera, whereas the scale of my Giganto Schwad will become apparent.
I'm just waiting for you to go invisible again. But yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah, because my skin's so white, it'll just go whoop. There'll just be a pair of eyes and a mouth with no teeth because they are also white.
No, it does the you know when you go inside the head of characters in the game, and so you just have these balls and then like the mouth.
You could do that in Armor, and it's absolutely terrifying. Yeah. It's proper ugly because there's a tongue there and everything. It's like. Okay, so going back to the questions then. Jesus Christ, please do let us know if it's the normal one, and if so, was your birthday actually 25th of December? But you said, do you think most players will rather enlist AI crew? Do you think the single-player game will have base building and mining, etc.? Two parts to that. Firstly, I think
start at the back and work our way up. I think on that question.
Oh yeah. So single player base building. No, I don't think this is going to be like Fallout. You're going to have a quest line that's going to be moving you along. And the reason I say that is because you're based on a carrier. That carrier's a carrier. I mean an Idris, right, or a javelin. At different points in the game, they have missions. You are fighters. You are subordinate to that mission. So you're going to be very much dragged along. A la, you know,
just a second. Kodiak Gaming, thank you for the 5 gifted subs on Twitch that went to Dun Magnus Renevulus, ML Stone, Cranky Work, Hellcat, and Chaos Reigns. Yeah, congrats on those subs, guys. And I did, by the way, update all the emojis on Twitch. I've got to go through and do the levels though, so I'll get onto that. Now that you've done that, thanks for more work. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and in answer to Kodiak's question, yeah, I'm not sure how to do super chats on Twitch either. So donations on super chat apart from
that'd be bits is how you do it. They're called bits.
Yeah, so you do it by the channel by your bits. So buy some bits and then you donate your bits and.
Yep. So back to the question, Badges.
Also, but before we go back into the base building and mining, just a public service announcement. SA, shut your mouth. All right, I'm seeing you in chat. Don't make me set Nightbot on you because she'll destroy you. All right.
I'm reading what he wrote, so that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
It's true though. SA knows exactly what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. He's very serious, man. That SA, he never messes around. Yeah, 100%.
Charity stream idea.
Yeah. So going back to the question, obviously. The game starts out at Shubing mining facility, and the Rock DS is a thing. So I think mining is definitely in there at some point, or even at you're driving around a vehicle in a mine. Clearly, that's what that DS is for, because it just doesn't make sense in a multiplayer game. But the actual base building, no. I just don't see that being a thing, especially when we've got nothing near the Pioneer or anything that at the moment, and how late the Pioneer actually kind of came out in relative to development. I would say no for base building. Do you guys kind of think the same, or?
Yeah, I think
base building and when?
As in base building for Squadron 42.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
But
mining, I think there will be for that.
I think there's mining.
Yeah.
You're go on.
John Gidby, thank you for the 100 bits in Twitch. And I think that means, yes, Badgers, you have a tiny head.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Right. And what was the first part of the question, Badgers?
So the first part of the question is, do we think, so just want to bring up to it, do we think most players will rather enlist AI crew?
I think that depends on the player. Because one thing Algared will tell you from the Fix My Fleets we've done, we've had people that want to play on their own. We've had a lot of people that realise that the way the game is going is as you kind of go up, it is kind of teaching you to work with other people. You kind of go from even if you just look at mining, you go from a prospector to a mole to whatever that next one is, and then the Orion right at the top. And clearly there is a crew size requirement as you go up. They are trying to get you to work with other people. And there is the biggest advantage with working with other people too. That's the other thing. What the hell is a hype? And we got a hype train on Twitch? What the hell? Now I have to make emojis for hype trains?
And thanks for subscribing on Prime.
Oh wow.
Zero Roos and Monster AV. So thanks for that.
Wow, so we don't even have emotes for a hype train, but yeah, if you do it, I guess I've got to make emotes. So yeah, thanks for my work. Appreciate it, you bastards.
You can tell how new we are to, even though we've been doing it on Twitch for ages, you can see how new we are to using Twitch cause.
We have, even this week I was actually talking about Algared about doing some more exclusive Twitch stuff because it seems CIG are very favouring Twitch. So we're looking at maybe, how I was playing the game a lot when we were doing these streams?
Yep.
And they literally said to us, no, you're being distracted, stop playing it. So I've kind of stopped doing it. We might actually do Twitch-focused streams that are more towards the gameplay. And I've talked to these guys about it as well. And I'm not even going to see about space and that. Just anytime they regularly play the game, hit the record button, and basically we might upload it and see what happens. But we haven't really kind of sourced that out yet, but that may or may not occur. So yeah. But yeah, thank you for the hype train.
And
thanks.
Yep, thank you for hype train, and thank you for again subscribing to Prime at Kodiak. Founder, first 1 month subscriber, and gift leader. So thank you, Kodiak Gaming.
Tempted to turn it into a war. What? Into a war? What? He's trying to declare war on us, I think. But anyway, whatever.
Whom?
Seems like we're getting neglected. What do you mean? You've just absolutely taken over. We're talking to you guys more on Twitch than we are talking to YouTube at the moment.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's I'm
only concentrating on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at YouTube comments at the moment. So.
It's like 20 people on Twitch and 120 on YouTube, so they're the ones being neglected. But anyway.
27 on Twitch, sorry.
All right, next question. Oh, God, it's gone up, has it? Oh, it has gone up. Next question, please, Badgers.
Okay, so Aurelius Indomitus asked, are you sure? Are you not sure you want an Idris instead of the Perseus? Now is the moment. No. I was actually thinking of a javelin. No, the
you should borrow Algared's.
The Perseus is fine, thank you.
Did I ever tell you about the time Algared misplaced one of his javelins? Have I ever told? I've told the story once or twice before, but have you actually heard it?
I think you've told it many times, but yes.
Yeah, it's just
and
funny.
The last time you told it, someone said in chat, "How do you lose a javelin?"
Yeah. So I just one day he comes along and he's like, "Oh yeah, I found one of my javelins that I misplaced. I thought I only had 2, but I've actually got 3." I'm like, what the
It's true, I did.
I'm just like, that is like such a first world problem to have. And I'm like, and here am I sitting like, at the time I didn't even have 1 javelin's worth of ships. And he's like, oh yeah, I've just totally misplaced one. Like left, and at the time I said, and I'll say the same thing again, it was like, what? You just left it under the bed? And it's like, oh, here it is, here's my javelin. You know, like.
It was,
My he's got a sticker on the back of his javelin. My other drive is another javelin. It's like,
yeah, that has to be a t-shirt. When we eventually get, we are working on being able to make some merchandise for you guys. We've got a few things moving in the background, but yeah, we'll have to make that into a shirt.
He parks them up together, and the first one's got my other drive is a javelin, and then the second one's got no, not this one,
but this one.
Oh.
Good God.
Hey, this is the roast badgers episode, not roast owl.
I think we're all getting a bit of roasting today, and that's fine. I'm having a good time. That's the main thing.
Kodiak Gaming says, should we shoot for a Kraken privateer?
No, we're all good, thank you.
I think with the donations we have gone past what would be required for your Perseus, but maybe we could float the idea. You guys can tell us in chat. What ship would you guys consider for a giveaway? What's a ship that you think is, now think about this as a whole, because it's got to be generalized. What's a good, well, I think the first one's got to be an Endeavour. It being us, but you guys tell me yourself in chat, what's a ship that you think is a good giveaway? I think the other thing I might do, just to stoke the fires a little bit, is if we can get up to 200, no, I might go a bit higher, 250, I'll give away a Steve. I'll buy a Steve and give away right on chat right now.
The hype train has been a success.
Cool. We also did, I have to go check it again, but that video you and I did, Badgers, did get over 500 likes. Because I just suddenly...
Steve.
Yeah, for the... Hang on. I'll flick it over.
Steve!
I'll flick it over and actually show you what it's like for us. So I'm actually in YouTube Studio here. So this is a behind-the-scenes type of thing that you guys don't get to see. But it actually shows us... This is how we set everything up for you guys. This is how the studio stuff works. And so I can actually open the video like you guys would see it. And you can see here that we've currently got 678 likes. So basically I said that every 500 likes we get, I'd buy a Steve. So we will be giving that away in the next video. But if you guys want a Steve today, I don't know, do you reckon 250 viewers is too much to ask?
It's like John Stevens is trying to tell us something in chat, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to be clearer, John.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you guys reckon that's too much to ask? If we can get to 250 viewers before, like, just at one point during this stream, if we can get to 250 viewers, I'll give away a Steve. But that means we need like another. That includes Twitch. So if Twitch you can get some more viewers in here, and if YouTube can get some more viewers in here, then we'll give away a Steve. At any point, if we get to 250. So yeah, because I can see the peak concurrence on both, and if I add the 2 peak concurrents together, if it goes over 250, I will we'll give away a Steve just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, free STDs from Execute.
Well, so you and I were calling them STDs, right? Because I think it's funny, and you think it's funny. But it turns out the name that the community is going with is Steve, because it's just you drop the 2 E's and it just becomes STV.
Yeah.
So, and I think because it's very meme worthy, that'll piss CIG off like crazy. But yeah, I was driving around with Steve. You can see where they all go real quick.
It's driving around with Stefan. Gotta use that PH spelling.
Yeah.
Carlton Whitfield's done like the Oprah thing. You get an STD and you get an STD. Everybody gets an STD.
No.
Oh dear. No, while we're peddling this, I've once I've got the abilities on my channel, I'm going to be putting together a fleet command series, which is going to be some inside knowledge that I can share with you guys from the Navy. Things like building fleet, effectively a formation for a fleet is called a screen. So I'm going to go into that sort of stuff. That's the first episode I want to do.
I thought it was going to be more like how to make your bed and your bunk and get it all nice and neat.
No, I'm not doing stuff like that. And
how to iron your uniform and polish your shoes.
But yeah, I think it'd be quite good fun if anyone wanted to hold me to account for this whole fleet command thing and go on then prove it. Just get your referrals in. Let's get to 2042 and hold me to it, I guess.
That gives you a javelin, doesn't it? Yeah.
And no, Kodiak Gamer, I have not yet seen the tweet that Jared did of the Steve with eyes like from Cars. So I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure we will.
I'll have a quick look and see if I can find it while we're going. Do you want to go on the next question, guys?
Yeah. So Zelcon asks, what is the first thing I'm going to do in my Perseus? I'm going to find Execute and I'm going to shoot him. Next question. Buckio. Oh no, sorry, that was Lemming answering the question that I answered in chat. Drazen says his badge is still is gaming on his fancy dining room table. That'll be a yes. And Matthew, one for all of us. Do we think the Spirit will fit in the Odyssey or the Polaris if you angle it a bit?
I've actually got to pay.
Oh my god!
So I just found. Do you see what I just found, guys? So I'll click it over. Yeah. I've got to laugh because it looks like.
Oh my god, too.
Yeah, it looks like the one from Cars. He's taking the smile from.
It does look like a character from Cars now.
Yeah.
Can never unsee that.
That's why he's called Steve.
Yeah.
That's literally why he's called Steve.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, actually.
You're awful human beings.
It's funny though.
Now I do have to respond to Heavy Bob's comment. He's got a question in Twitch. He says, "How about you just buy a whole bunch of copies of the Communist Manifesto and ship them out as giveaways?" And Old Man Hurston has to comment on this. No, that's like supporting ooh, and we don't support ooh on this channel. So there you go. Old Man Hurston does not like the United Workers Union, but reasons that should be obvious. They disrupt the supply of ooh. United Workers Union.
What question?
That was a question. He said we should. Well, yeah, that was a one I hadn't put up there, but
okay. What's the next one?
The second thing I'm going to do is find Execute and shoot him. The first thing I'm going to do is find the person that suggested we use the Communist Manifesto and shoot them.
No, the second thing will be respawning your Perseus after you try to shoot me.
That sounds like a challenge.
Challenge
accepted. I'll be with my friend Algared in one of his 3 javelins.
Did we answer the Spirit Odyssey Polaris question, or were you too busy looking at pictures?
What was it? Spirit? Ask the question again, please.
Matthew asks, do you think the Spirit would fit in the Odyssey or the Polaris if you angle it a bit? I mean, maybe if you
not after today.
Land it on its arse end and just have the top sticking out of the Polaris like that.
Lemming and Cannon here, but Lemming and Cannon was what 40? You said 46 meters. It's up to now. Is that correct?
46.5, and it's 44 meters wide or something.
Yeah. So if we go back to Hangar Link when I can find it, right? So we know that as we were saying at the moment, the smallest large ship in game is currently the Apollo, right? So if I put the Apollo back in, right? Now I know it doesn't actually have that here, but look, that's 43 meters. That actually makes the Spirit bigger than the Apollo. So the Apollo is now officially a large ship, just based on that.
It still fits on the medium pad. They've built it to the metrics.
It is 2 meters shorter than a Redeemer.
Yep. So, but apparently the official line though is Mole is the largest medium, and the Apollo is the smallest large. So if it is 40 6, like you're saying, that technically makes it a large.
No,
not a
pad
medium.
sizes and the ship sizes are different. Remember, this is the CIGism. A small pad is 48 meters, and 16 meters tall for a hangar.
All right, I might have to look at it after the show.
So it might be that, well, you know,
Hey, Ender, how you doing?
they can do anything they want, really.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Next question up is Dat Horse Guy asks, how do you think engineering gameplay and the relay system will affect the solo ability of most ships, especially current daily drivers like the MSR, 600i, and the Connie? It's a really good question.
Answer it again. Sorry, I was reading a message.
So, how do you think engineering gameplay and the relay system will affect the solo ability of most ships, like the MSR, 600i, the Connie?
I think that kind of logically comes with the scale as ships go up, because obviously in a solo ship, you're going to be getting out and repairing your shit from the outside and stuff, and then, you know, as you go up, you've got more crewmates. I think it kind of naturally scales. I think that's an obvious. I don't know. You guys tell me.
Well, I think what he's asking is, what about the people who are expecting to solo ships like the MSR, Connie, 600i as their daily drivers?
Yeah, so
what impact should they be reading into relays and things?
So from a gameplay perspective, when a bot comes up to do something, like when you come up to it and you play that little mini game, one of the things that we've talked about is if you got that 5-star rating system, is they can get an average. So it's, if you're a 3-star engineer, they can basically work out on like an average time that a 3-star engineer takes to fix something, and then they can give a range. So say maybe it's 30 to 40 seconds, and therefore it randomly picks a number between 30 to 40 seconds, and the bot just stands there and does it, and then it auto completes. So they can literally fake that, and you can take that and copy that across every single profession just by using the rating system, and then uses it to give you a rough, vague idea. And the thing is, if players over time get worse, so say they change something in it, and it gets worse, and all of a sudden it goes to 40 to 50 seconds, because of the way they program it, it just automatically changes the bots to be worse too. So it's a scalable system. It's got redundancies. That's how I would make it. I'm not saying that's how they're going to make it, but that's how they could make it. And it if you think about it and work it through, it works for everything.
And that would be saying NPCs are valuable, and people who just want to be solo will I would imagine for those ships would need an NPC. Like, I think of those ships, the MSR is probably the best one for doing solo, just because of the way it seems to be designed. And being a Millennium Falcon type ship, even Han Solo needs Chewie running around fixing stuff, or Chewie flying the ship while he's repairing stuff. So once you go to those ships, you are really going into that multiplayer gameplay. And if you're by yourself, you're either going to have to stop and hide in a cave while you repair your ship, or you're going to have an NPC or a player crew. And that's just the nature of the game. So,
I think, I think at least initially, maybe not quite as big as the 600i, but certainly MSR, Connie, you'll be able to run them yourselves. And I think we did a video a little while ago, didn't we, X, on like, what about quick travel? What's going to fill up the time that we're quantuming? And I think as a single player crew for those ships, getting out, doing all the other routine tasks, I think just being able to fly it, the simple act of getting off the ground, and that would make sense, right? Yeah. As a single player, because what happens if you've got 2 injured crewmates? They're both downed. You need to deal with them, or you get hammered in space. You've got pirates coming after you. You don't want smaller ships like the Connie and MSR to suddenly be, oh well, there's only one of us available to fly. This is fucked. We're doomed. We'll just sit here and wait for the inevitable. You'd still want to be able to come in and land it, but there's gonna come a point on that scale where you need to stop, because what you need to fix are the engines. Yep. You're going to have to stop and, shut stuff down, and that's going to take a lot longer. And in the long run, you will be less efficient than those ships with multi-crewed.
Yeah. So,
with multi-crewed.
So I actually, like, a lot of people go, there will be things that the AI is better at than human players, and then there are things that the AI will be way worse at. I actually think, like, when you break that down at the moment, and I've run this through my head, but I haven't kind of run it by you guys, the turrets are probably going to be one of the worst things AI is at, but they've also made AI so they can be deadly, right? So once you kind of understand how they can fake it, there's literally everything that's inside the ship. There's not really much that they can be bad at it unless they get stuck, right? So if they get stuck in a wall, you know how AI gets stuck and stuff. Unless they have ways that they can unstuck themselves and stuff like that, that's the only way I can see it. Because if it's all just becomes a timer to AI, where they're kind of faking it, it just becomes a timer. So there's actually nothing that they're not actually sitting there playing a mini game. They're just there doing some kind of animation that you see from the outside, and it's all being faked on a timer. Once you realize that that's as simple as it is, NPCs are just going to be good as human players. They really, really are. It's just that the human's jumping through hoops where the AI is just running on a timer. And I think if you kind of work that through, technically speaking, a human could be worse than the AI, because if they just go AFK, you know what I mean? Like, you're stuffed. But an NPC won't go AFK. So in some ways, the NPCs will be better, or at least more reliable. Like, where a human could fall asleep at the wheel, the NPC is not going to do that because it's an NPC.
Or the internet crashes, or
exactly. But I think when you put a human in a turret, I think a human in a turret will be better than an AI in a turret, unless they've got some kind of that cheating thing turned on where they just are sniping everything, almost like a wall hack or
and I can see the NPCs like having they've talked about having different grades of abilities. So if you've got a really expensive top grade NPC in the turret and it is keyed as being a gunner, then he's going to be significantly better than that guy who is the 1-star El Cheapo, can't hit. You need the scatter gun to be able to hit something because he's so useless.
Algared, that's what I meant by the rating system. So you take the human rating system and you literally use the data from that to match literally toe to toe with the AI. And I think I only thought of it about a year ago, but it makes a lot of sense. If you've got all the data there sitting there going, a 5-star guy can do it between 10 and 20 seconds. Therefore, I just randomly generate a number and you can generate that number for that particular character, and he always does it in that same amount of time. Or you could just make it random every single time. Depends how they program it. Once you work that through across all the professions, there's nothing that they can't fake. The only one currently, actually, tractor beams would be another one they can't fake. So you can't fake turrets, you can't fake tractor beams. It's anything that kind of goes... that's almost physicalized. So picking up and moving a box, that's physicalized, like if they get stuck. But if they're just standing at a station and it's essentially what we would be in a terminal playing a minigame, they can fake all that. So once you run that through and go across all the different things, it becomes... It's not as complicated. Like, you really break it down, there's very few things that the AI would struggle with. And if you probably get them to move stuff with a tractor beam around, that would be harder. As in, like, walking up and picking up the tractor beam and moving it over. But again, essentially, there are ways they can fake that too. So it's kind of like, they can fake a system where to the AI, it's really them just picking it up, but they're picking it up at a range. And so therefore, it kind of just sucks in. So again, it'll take time to see how they actually work that out. But I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. Another question, Badges?
Yeah. So, there's a question here about fleet build, but I will just let you know we are only 8 questions into this, so we can all see in the stream questions. But this is from Matthew. Do you think this is a good upgrade path for my fleet, or would you recommend something else for a primarily solo or support player? Pisces Expedition, Spirit C1, Spirit A1, Medevac,
Hang on.
Redeemer.
I'll make.
Yeah.
I need to make. I need to be. I need to be able to visualize this stuff.
I don't know if we've got the time to go through the whole. Whole thing.
So what I'll say is reach out to Algared or myself, and we'll take the time to do Fix My Fleet with you. We do this for everyone.
Even if we don't make a video, we will we will do that with you.
So just reach out. We kind of did one today on stream, and it does take up a fair bit of time. But if we've got heaps of questions to go through, and we're going to miss all the questions if we have to do a fix my fleet off the cuff. So yeah. There's hang on, just real quick. So out of curiosity, since the Spirit is now bigger than the Max, do you think it's going to get a cargo bump or any? No, because the other thing is you'll notice about the ship is it's kind of a sausage, and then it's like these massive wings. So literally, if you cut the wings off, the ship isn't bigger than the Freelancer or the Cutlass. It's a long sausage as opposed to a medium, like a sausage, like it's like a squash sausage for the Freelancer, and then it's like a even more squash one for the Cutlass. So all they've done is just like got the rolling pin and rolled it a bit more, and it's got longer and longer. But because also they decided to put these massive wings on it, it's just blown it right out. Almost wonder if they if I was going to go there, I would keep it the original size, and I would have just made it fatter. But they don't want to make it fatter because as soon as they make it fatter, it takes more vehicles. So you could almost put a nursery in, you see, and that's what they're worried about. They don't want to give it too much power because if they don't do that, it becomes easily the preferred.
Personally, I'd have kept it the same size and just shortened that tunnel.
I think they've already done that with the doors, Algared. If you go look, there's the doors, and so that's limited what can go through it. But also they have a door at the back. Do you remember what the problem was with the MSR? Do you remember that back in the day? And they go, now we've made the door bigger. So if they leave the door small, they can actually make the internals better, but just it's a design flaw, where they use the ship's whole, entry point to be smaller.
But the original design of the MSR when they had it was small door and turret tube in the middle to stop you being able to put certain vehicles on it.
A lot of the tunnel stuff in the Crusaders, like you'll notice how they have 3 doors. The reason for that is LOD issues. By having 3 doors, there's never ever a time where all 3 doors are open, and so you don't have these LOD issues. And that's why in the subsequent patches they stopped you from opening the doors, because it's such a long view distance. There's just too many polygons on the screen. So that's why they put 3 doors in, to make it so that you don't have draw distance issues. It's a problem with it. It literally is a design flaw of the Crusader ships because they're all just really long tunnels. They really should have. So if you think about the MSR, it's got that split and it kind of goes off into the turrets on one side and on the other. They should have done the same thing for the or put like a viewing wall or something like that. So basically you come into a viewing wall and go left and right, and that way you can't see the engine right down the end. That's what they need to do to the Crusader. Right on the end, there needs to be a wall, so it blocks the LODs. But that's just, and what that means, guys, is basically it's drawing too many polygons on screen at once, and the game goes to shit. So that's why they've put those doors in to stop it from doing that. But yeah.
So Alex the Dog has a question about the Spirit. He said, I thought it was the size of the Cuddy, and it was. But literally today we saw it had been updated, and it is now just shy of the maximum size that it fits on that pad size. So it's like 48 or 47 meters long, 46.5 long, and 45 wide or something like that at its widest point. So it's literally as large as it can get to that metric pad size. So yes, it is getting closer to, as someone else said in chat, a Corsair now.
Just really quickly, someone, Alex the Drogo on Twitch says, plus extra doors to trap the pirates. Where they've got 2 elevators in the E1, I would expect if they make another entrance, they would just have it so those elevators go down to the ground. That would be, it's in the same spot, so why not just have the elevators go to the ground, and that way you've got 2 entrance points. Because both the Freelance and the Cutlass have secondary access points. Actually, back in the day, the Cutlass also had a ladder that it doesn't have anymore. It actually had 3. So, yeah.
The Cutlass used to have entry points all over the place. You could get up on the wings. You go, It was a lovely ship to get into. I used to like I got to admit, as much as I don't like Drake, I used to like the Cutlass for the feel that you had, getting in and out, and the options you had. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Soundgroper does bring up an interesting point that I do want to point out to you guys just because of AIE. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be the case, but it is very telling. So Soundgroper says, question, were the Inforunners Everyone was surprised not to see any Warbond CCUs for CitizenCon. So what he means by that is there was no discounted Warbond CCUs. And we had, so what we saw at AIE was they decreased the savings by 25%, but then at CitizenCon, there was zero. There was just none. And if they do that at AIE, that essentially means the end of discounted Warbond CCUs, so you can't do chaining anymore.
Yep.
You'll only have the ones that you already have to build your chains.
You'll still be able to use your LTI tokens.
I wonder if that conversation you and I had with Sandy got through to her when we said, yes, someone got a $95 Carrick. Do you understand what that's doing? Because
maybe it did.
Yeah, we talked to her about how it was like really devaluing ships and making old backers feel like absolute shit because, this at the time it was like, we promise you that this will be the cheapest ship that you can ever buy this ship, and that has totally been destroyed on every single ship in the game because of the Warbond CCU. So we're wondering if they've kind of learnt their lesson and they're going the other way, but we'll see. Not that I disagree.
You realise, Execute, you've just made all of the community in Star Citizen hate us.
Probably, right? But what our intention was they were actually devaluing. They broke a promise, essentially, is what we're saying to them. We were saying that you need to find another way to do this, or you need to check your Warbond CCUs in such a way that it just doesn't like it equals that cheaper price. It never ever goes below it, because you've also got to remember there's promises along the way. I'm talking legally here, right? Legally. Like legally, they made a promise that they could be sued over, right? It's the same thing with how they said there'll be 100 star systems. Now they've said they've got to be 100 star systems. If they ever release the game with 10 star systems, someone will come out and sue them just because that's the nature of it. People see dollar signs, they can get money. So I guarantee you we won't see 1.0 until we get to 100 star systems, just so nobody can sue them.
Execute. Can I add something about the Warbots?
Go for it, buddy.
Sure.
So we never have war bonds on concepts. Like it never happens. And we also don't have war bonds on ships that are below $75. So I don't think this is the end of war bonds, especially because we just had one a couple weeks ago.
Do you just so because the people in chat that are listening, Lemming, do you want to tell people who or what you are, or do you want to remain anonymous?
I'm one of the mods on the Inforunners Discord.
I meant more specifically. Do you know what I'm talking about? No, you don't. Okay, cool. Fine.
Yeah,
no problem. All right, I'll leave it at that. All right.
I will add that Lemming is one of our mods, and it is true. But he's not just a mod just because he was a mod. We needed a mod. It was a mod. He became a mod because he proved that he knew his shit.
Yep.
And there are other reasons that went into that decision as well. So it's not just he's a mod. It's
all our mods do a very good job on the Discord. That's for sure.
Yep.
Make my life a lot easier. That's for sure. All right. SA asks, there will still be speculation CCU those. I think that's what Lemming's kind of hinting at. He's literally just cut me off at the knees, and he's basically said that's the reason why we didn't get Warbond CCUs at CitizenCon. So it still could be a possibility. But what I'm just doing is preparing you. Now Lemming's kind of said that, it kind of makes me think again that maybe he's completely right, and that's why we haven't seen any Warbond CCUs. But I'm always preparing for the day when
it's possible.
Yeah, I'm always just getting ready for the day when they get rid of them. You know what I mean? It's like the Endeavor and the Crucible. We always say pick them up now because when they do it up in price, you're going to be disappointed. It's the same thing we said with the Banner Merchantman all the way along, like 350, 400, 450, 550, 600, and I guarantee you it's probably going to jump again. Because it's essentially, as Algared and I've said, it's an $890 jump. That's $600 currently.
I mean, what's the saying that the best day to buy something was yesterday, and the next best day to buy something is today?
Yep, that's it.
So I mean,
and that's what we keep saying. Get the Endeavor, get the Crucible, because and the reason we're seen as a cult of the Endeavor and cult of the Crucible is because we do see them as such good value, because they're still at their concept price. They haven't gone up in price, and every year CIG talk about things, and we think, this is it, they're going to be pushing up the price. And we're always, I certainly am always amazed or surprised that the price of the Endeavour and the Crucible haven't increased. But yeah, if you want to make sure, if you're wanting to get one of those, even if you're just wanting to lock one in, the second you can see, you're able to CCU to it, just lock it in at the closest ship to it at that price, and it guarantees you've got it for a $350 ship. Because I can guarantee they're going to go up. They're going to be at least double their price.
Yeah. So just along those lines, Tim Pastor just asked in chat, do you think spirits will go up in price? Yeah, absolutely. About $20. Yeah. And the way you can tell that is look at the credit price. That's what they're going to jump to. So the credit price is, so for the A1, it's Warbond is 155 and the credit price is 175, and it's the same on the other two. They all go up by $20. So that the final price of that ship, it's currently 110. That means it'll be 130, and that kind of lines up with the Freelancer because it's $5 in front of the Freelancer. So that's what I'm expecting them to all jump to, $20 above where they are now. I'm feeling kind of generous and feel like giving back a little bit, badges, with what we got today. And I would like to ask in chat, is there anyone else knows in chat that is a little kind of like Badges? Like Badges has had a bit of a rough time. He's pretty ugly. He needs a bit of a pick-me-up. No. Do you know we didn't get a single comment about our looks on that video, by the way? Not a single one.
I got a comment on looks. Did you? Really? I got a comment on looks. I got a comment saying I was beautiful.
Oh, there you go.
Shut your mouth.
There you go. You win then. But yeah, is there anyone that knows anyone else in chat?
I think I got a comment on that as well, by the way.
You weren't even in the video! What?
And I still got a comment saying I was better than both of you.
Just screw the both of you. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what it was. Okay, right. But yeah, is there anyone in chat that feels that knows someone else in chat that could probably use a bit of a pick me up? Because I'm feeling like we should give back a bit here after today. I'm feeling a bit generous. Is there anyone that no? If no one stands up, that's fine. I might just make it random. But you'll know when we do stuff here on Inforunners, we tend to like to give back a little bit. We don't like to just give giveaways willy-nilly. But I'm just wondering if there's anyone else knows in chat that might need a pick up. Maybe there's someone out of chat. Is there someone that you know that is a Star Citizen person that is really deserving of a ship? Like maybe they've only got like a starter package or something like that, but just someone that just needs a pick me up. So I don't know. You guys let me know. I'll just float that idea for a while, and message me on Discord or something like that. And
guys, I appreciate the love in chat. I love you guys too, but it's a hard line after the Perseus. All right. Yeah. No.
Sorry. I'm trying to get this back onto the other window. Just bear with me, boys. Sorry. So this is the Excel sheet. I've got to kick it out.
I will also say to those guys in Twitch, if you do have a question, please put the word question on there so that I can actually dig them out and chuck them across to our stream so that we can answer those questions.
I have lighter versions.
Trying to read the chat as well, it doesn't always work. So
yeah, I got diabetes, so I got a version of light. So this thing is so damn bright. So this is the CCs we currently. Lemming and
you give me. Sorry,
no, you go.
I just say Rum Runner in chat said morphologist. We could club together and buy him an A2. I shouldn't laugh, but I'm gonna.
Being friends with Morph and talking to him pretty regularly, he would hate me for that. I don't think I could do it. Maybe an A1. Just say
and need some ballistas.
Yeah, just give him.
Lemming and Can real quick. Someone in Twitch chat. Axis, he actually sits. So currently, you've got a P72 there. He's actually got a Spartan, or is that not worth doing? Just letting you guys know. Did you guys?
It needs to be giftable, so it needs to be bought with fresh cash.
It is giftable, I believe. Axis, just let us know. Axis, is that thing giftable? The Spartan you have?
No, it would have to be gifted and then re-gifted because of the CCUs.
Yes, yeah. That doesn't work for our case. I just remembered because the CCU that the person has is not giftable. So we're actually getting the person to build it on their account and then sending it to Badges. So they have to rebuy. So as you can see, there is rebuying an Archimedes to make it giftable. So we'll go from there. But yeah. I'm probably going to send most of the stuff to him as CCUs just to make sure he can't spend it. but I'll have to send him the cast for the Archimedes. But yeah, no, but that's what we're going to go with that. Man, I hate wearing these glasses. I look like Paul, or I feel like Paul, like one of those American people. Yeah.
Paul's one of those American people.
Yeah,
I did see some people earlier talking about, old man Hurston knowing too much about the uwu, and you have to blame Paul. His barkeep has told him about uwu, so old man Hurston isn't a fairy. He is just an old Hurstonian. He is a Hurston, because if you argue with that, you can take it up with Paul. And Paul is the barkeep who manufactures or helps concoct Evercrack and spice.
Oh, my
and
eyes!
Old man Hurston has never stopped Paulie going off on a run to pick up more supplies for Evercrack or spice. So he clearly is. Old man Hurston does say, "Let's cook." So there you go.
I believe it's White Lion in chat, but you are very welcome. Sorry, Can, go ahead.
I think Essie's come up with a good idea, and we roll up whatever ship we can through IAE with some savings and whatever, and do a Christmas giveaway. So someone gets a nice Christmas present.
Yep. So whatever the biggest ship is we can get after the donations for badges have been given out, we'll get it up to there. I don't know what it'll be, and we might even, if you guys want to give some donations leading up to Christmas, we'll just add those all to it, and whatever ship we can get, and then we'll just do a big giveaway. Or maybe we might not do, so if it gets something ridiculous, like it gets up to like a Kraken or whatever, instead of doing that, we might scale it back and do like a couple of smaller ones. But like I'm saying, I like giving things to people that are more in need, because like just as an extreme example, you wouldn't give a ship to Algared because he's got everything, right? And I wouldn't really feel comfortable taking a ship, because the only ship I need now is the Kraken, and I'll get that eventually, right? So I'll get that. But someone like Badgers that's in a difficult spot at the moment, I'd like to. You guys would know what I'm saying, right? Like you what's it called? You pay it forward is what I'm saying. Pay it forward. So yeah, that's what I like to do. But yeah, I haven't got any. Sorry, go ahead.
I think one of the other things that's nice in this is, tell us what you think. But obviously, with what I do with my work, unfortunately, I'm tapped into a lot of the negative sides of mental health. And coming out of lockdown in the UK, and I know this is mirrored across a number of countries, people are struggling. They're struggling to find that connection again. So if you guys think that rather than an STV or something, a game package to get people into this community where they can come and talk, if you think if you can think of someone they're tech-minded, they're not part of the game, if this is something that we can give to people, to give them somewhere to come and feel like, because we all know that this is one of the most helpful gaming communities. I've never, and I'm going to say it now, and now I'm going to hear it every time I play, but you don't hear people screaming secretly at each other unless they're doing it ironically. We're all, the minute someone asks for help, everyone's willing to help, and I know that goes beyond just stuff in the game. If people say they're having a rough day or a rough week or a rough however long, people are happy to jump in. So if that's something that you guys think would be useful, or you can think of someone in that frame, then reach out, let us know.
And thank you, Dawn Stealer, for that $50 donation to the Perseus Fund, and also Negativity for your positivity there, giving a $5 donation for the Perseus
I've just seen what he's written. It's brilliant. I would be very happy to donate a Perseus to Polaris CCU, since the Perseus is garbage.
I love this.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played, sir. Well played. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yep. And I don't disagree with him at all.
Oh dear.
What I was going to suggest is maybe we throw up a poll and ask the people viewing whether they would prefer us to do lots of smaller ships or one big ship.
Well, I'm also at the point now where my brain is going where badges were. And I'm actually thinking, what if we just what if we go the other way, guys, and we just go a whole bunch of starter packages and just get as many people into the community as we can? So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't know if you guys, because with Badger's bit of a little speech there, I kind of was like, yeah, that's a way better idea than what I came up with.
Well, it also ties in with one of the things we've always talked about. We've never really liked doing giveaways. Like, we even held off doing ads because we didn't want to do this as if we were trying to make money or trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
But when we have done giveaways, one of the things we have want to do is link it to a charity or to the mental health issues. So one of the big things in Australia we have is, you know, Are You OK Day, which is basically just really trying to draw attention to the mental issues that people have, and just checking up on a friend and saying, hey, you know, are you okay? Is everything going okay for you? Is there anything we can do to help you? And one of the things we thought is if we could ever do stuff to help people get through.
I checked up a poll, so let us know when the poll goes.
Well, something we'll take away with this, but it might be something that you guys think of, or you know, you might want to offer some thoughts on. Is there's a number of ways we can approach this, and if people have things like CCUs or whatever that they would consider maybe auctioning off, we could do a big charity gig with it.
Actually, that'd be pretty funny. You know, sorry, I'm just reading. So what Jock Crop wrote there, he goes, Algared is missing the Cutlass Steel and an Odyssey. Help Old Man Hurston out. Badges is the Perseus a commerce raider, like a Tripipits?
Like the Tirpitz.
Yeah.
The Tirpitz. Tirpitz was the sister ship of the Bismarck.
So what I was saying is we'll just get CIG to give you a Cutlass Steel that's unmeltable and unnamed. Like what they did to Paul, I think that made me so happy when I found out. They go, so for people that don't know, they Astropub or Paul, one of the guys at CIG finally got him gifted a Redeemer that is unmeltable and unupgradable, and it's named Paul's favorite ship. Because I love the Redeemer, and he's just shattered on me for all that time. So I just think that's hilarious. I saw the question just before you asked it, X. I was watching Algared's face very carefully. I have a feeling he and I are of the same mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, mate. When they said Cutlass Steel, your face went, and it's like me. It's like I refuse to have that ship on my recall list. Like it's just not going there at all ever.
I do. I hate the Steel. The Odyssey I dislike because of the way they sold it, but I do have a CCU to it.
Yeah.
Admittedly, a CCU from a Perseus, but I do have a CCU to it.
Yeah, I think the problem you have with Algared is the same as me with the Odyssey. It just really comes down to that they shouldn't have treated us like we're stupid and told us what it was. The correct information, not a marketing spin. And that's the problem. Once you get real marketing people involved, they see dollar signs and they don't realize the community they're dealing with. You're dealing with very intelligent people that inform themselves on their purchases, and you basically tried to spin it to us, and we weren't having that bullshit.
I even think they did that with the E1.
Yep.
With the Mixmaster.
Yep.
It's got a Mixmaster because it needs a Mixmaster, you know, And I know they're putting it there and saying they at least try to say, okay, the Mixmaster will help you do the drinks that serve your high class clientele. At least they did that, but it didn't really say why this ship is particularly better. But with the Odyssey, it was it's got a
kind of came off as tacky, didn't it? Oh, the Mixmaster, you know, it came off as tacky, and I've just never saw this game as tacky. I always saw it as informed and, you know.
But at least you can see that the gameplay loop and value of the Mixmaster. Why is this ship better for being a shuttle for luxury passengers? Because it's got the Mixmaster. You can mix the drinks and do the other stuff. But Odyssey, why is the Odyssey a better explorer? Because it's got a rule of cool. They even called it a rule of cool viewing room at the back. How did that make it a better or more valuable explorer?
Just let me
explain. You know,
just let me catch up. There's another. Why not ask
there's one from Matthew there.
Yeah, why not ask CIG to part out with you guys and and another content creator, see if you can help out. We've never been contacted by CIG. We actually have to go kind of around. So whoever is the people at the bottom, we knew all the people at the top from back in the day. So we just go to the people we know. And I've actually tried going bottom up to try and do it the right way, and I just don't get anywhere. So I just keep going around.
I personally think your leak days are coming back to bite us.
Well, that's just petty.
Yeah.
That's kind of petty if that's the case. But we'll see what happens. All right, next question.
Okay, there was an extra bit on that where Jotcop asked, "Is the Perseus a commerce raider like the Turpits?" That question's coming up, so if you're happy, we'll I'll answer that all at the same time.
Yep.
So Jay Wazinski asks, "Who would win in a fight, Space Whale or Perseus?" Really easy, that one. The Space Whale would swallow the Perseus, and then the Perseus would shoot its way out. Blamsmith asks, if we were to get a small medical ship, do you reckon there's a chance it'll have a better medical bay than the Cutty Red?
Why not? If we get a small medical ship,
well, I think the beds are kind of directly like, look, let's look at the Apollo. You only have one large tier 1 bed, but 3 smaller ones. So I think they are directly scalable to size. So if you got a smaller ship than the Cutty Red, it would only be 1 tier 3 bed.
Yep. Or not a tier 1 bed, but tier 2.
No, I agree.
So Cutty has.
Didn't you hear what I just said?
Sorry.
So you're saying 1 tier 2 bed instead of 2 tier 3s? Yeah, okay, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got the tier 1. Yeah. So
I got to run that through. That's because that basically just kind of death knell. Actually, maybe that's just a module for the Cutlass Red. You just remove the 2 beds and it can have a singular tier 2. That would be a good upgrade for the Cutlass Red, I think.
It is one of the things I always thought of. Because of the way the Apollo works. If you change it so that you could do 1 tier 2 bed in the Cuddy, you kind of got that. But that turns it into your small midship. So do we need a small midship if they do that? No. Would one hurt? No. So
I'm just reading Ted's message there. Ted Wendelberg says, I can't pronounce that because it's an African name, but it's like Mathable is in Africa. He needs a starter pack. He has no payment method. I nominate. Yeah, so that is the type of thing. Like, he can't even buy the game because he has no payment method. That's a good one.
And thanks for the super chat for all that as well, Ted.
Yeah.
That $5 donation to that.
So the other thing is, I'm going to end the poll now, but we're basically at you can see the results coming up now. But lots of starter packs literally took over 50%. So I think we're in agreement as a kind of a community there. It is better to kind of give back to as many people as possible. And I actually think what you said there, Badge, is like I didn't even think of it until you said it. But as you were saying, I'm like, oh, it's so right. This is what we need to do. So rather than buying some big ships to give away, let's just see how many little starter packs we can get as a community. And you don't even have to donate those to us, guys. We'll just give as many away as we can at Christmas time. Actually, you know what we might do, Algared? See if we can get in contact with our contacts at CIG and see if we can get them to do some kind of Christmas drive where we get, maybe it's still $45, but just for this Christmas, it comes with LTI. And it can't be applied to your own account, which means it can't be... They'd have to make a special website for it, though, or something. But you know what I mean? Like, so it's $45 package that comes with LTI, but you can't gift it to yourself. So it has to be... You have to put in the other account name or something like that, or just an email, and it's sent to the other person. So that way we're giving... Or you could even make it blind, right? Where it just... You give the $45 and CIG just give them out to people in need. Holy shit. If we made this go CIG community wide,
the problem is how do you determine who's in need? How do you not just get false applications?
And that's the problem. I guess. But
and that's why I think community recommendations.
But if you were ever going to do it with any community, it would be this community that would try to do the right thing, right? So yeah, I guess there's at some point we're going to get a little burn there, and there are going to be some people that fudge the system. But there
are always people who do that.
Can I just give a quick? Can I give a quick shout out to Shadow Girl in chat for being an absolute savage by saying they couldn't call the Cutty Steel the RSI Steel, as in STEAL, because that would be too close to reality.
Well, that's what we call it.
Yeah, you absolute savage. Sorry.
We should just call it the Cutty Egg from now on, and refer it to Algared from now on. Anyway.
Right. So
you would get an eye roll. I got an eye roll. Yep.
Fat Gus asks, as a defender for an org while mining or whatever, if the Polaris is too expensive to use daily, which other ship or ship combo would you consider?
Read that again, because I've got many things.
As a defender for an org while mining or whatever, if the Polaris is too expensive to use, which other ship or ship combo would you consider?
I always just come back to the Nautilus when it's defense, but that's almost up there at the same price, isn't it? So the Nautilus has a really unique ability about it. It's a ship that can be there before the combat and after the combat. You take the crew. It's its passive nature of the mines, because you can actually just take it back and then take the same crew and roll them into, say, something like a Polaris, and then you've got all the mines and all the turrets and a Polaris. So as Algared and I said in the buyer's guide, or the recommendation for it or whatever, is it's not the ship itself, it's the utility and passiveness it gives you. And it really sets it apart from any other ship in the game. It doesn't need to be there for the combat. And quite honestly, you look at the two size 7 guns, that's nothing now, because you can take 2 people and put them in Ares and it's the same. So it's the ship itself is not the takeaway there. It's a passive ability.
It's that versatility it gets with the mines, and the key thing that'll make, I think the thing that'll make or break the Perseus, the Nautilus overall, not the Perseus. The Nautilus overall is the mines itself. Are they just useless little crappy things, or have they got a bit more bite?
So I think they've described them as being able to track, haven't they? So the biggest issue for me with mines is the number you can put out versus the area that you have to cover. If they're able to home, I guess you'd call it, and kind of drift after their targets, then that might make them a little bit more deadly. But then yes, you're talking payload and all that sort of stuff. Plus how quickly do they lock on? How far away do you have to get to them for them to disengage? I think there are smaller ships potentially that people look at. The key thing in military is knowing that they're coming. So if you know they're coming and get out the way, you don't even have to take a fight, right? You can choose whether or not it's going to be beneficial for you to do so or not. And to that end, you're talking terrapins. Stuff that can see stuff coming well out of the way, identifies it at range, gets the information back to your org and goes this. The other thing is, think ships that can disrupt. So think ships with EMPs. Something that can get in there and cause just enough confusion to let everything that needs to get away, get away.
I'm just doing another poll. So this is what I'm going to do today, guys. So instead of giving you guys a Steve, I accidentally added an option and it won't let me delete it. There we go. Yeah, cool. Here we go. So instead of giving you guys a Steve, I'm thinking I'll up it a bit more, and we'll give a starter package to Malhulbul. I can't pronounce that. I'm butchering it. But so there's a poll there, guys. Would you guys want a Steve that'll go to one of you guys, or would you rather we give a starter package to someone that can't even buy the game? And I think I know what you're going to say, because I think we're all on the same page here about giving back. But always like to make sure. So yes, give him a starter package. It's already 88%. So but you guys will get a Steve also if you just leave a comment on that last video that Badges and I did. So whatever. So what we might, what I might even do is, I've got an advanced starter. I'll actually show you guys what I'm talking about. So if I open this and this, am I on the right screen? Yes, I am. Cool. We go into my account. Oh, everything's so big.
Fat Gus asks, in following up, Nautilus is capital ship ? No, it's not. It's large. I hope that helps.
Nautilus is not Nautilus. That was a Perseus question, right? Just double checking that I heard it right. So yeah, the Perseus is a basically a gunboat. It's a coastal patrol boat, not a capital.
It was a question about the Nautilus, not the Perseus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it's, I think the Perseus, the Nautilus is in that same category. It's not a cap.
Yeah. Okay. Shempasta asks, with the new resource management changes coming in Star Citizen, do you still recommend getting the big ships, or would that change to more medium-sized ships?
No, because you kind of get the medium ships for very little effort underneath. So this is just real quick. This is what I'm recommending that I'll buy back and give it to him. So this is an advanced starter package with LTI, but you also get the rarest Aurora in the game, which is the LX. But the real thing is he also gets Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? So that'll give him both copies of the game, and it's only an Aurora. Hey, do we get really generous and upgrade him to a Titan?
I would.
Yeah. I don't know. Ted, tell us about your mate. What ships are he into? What does he like? What does he want to do in Star Citizen? Ted, tell us. Lead the way. What does he like to do? So I'll wait for a bit of feedback from Ted, maybe we can upgrade that into a ship that he'll enjoy.
Yep.
And while we wait for Ted to answer that question, I've got a related question. Comes from Alex Droog, who says, would a 315 make a good starter pack for a new player? And I'm assuming you're talking about yourself, Alex, because you say I'm a new player. You said earlier you're a new player, and new player with a PC that can finally run the game. So what would be a good starter ship to have?
Titan. Titan is $5 cheap. It's $5 cheaper, isn't it? Or I have to double check that now.
Yep. So there are several options you got in starter packs. The three cheapest or the three base ones, which you just want to do regular stuff, are the Aurora, the Mustang, and the Pisces. But
actually $10.
Yeah, 100% the Titan. 100% the Titan.
But if you go that little bit extra, the Titan is, I think, the best starter ship to have, because you've got internals, you've got the bed, you've got cargo space. You can't really put a vehicle in there too comfortably, but I think you can get a bike in there. It's got a good weapons loadout.
Well, Ted, before we go ahead and buy it for him, do you want to make sure he still doesn't have a copy of it, and maybe find out a little, like, you get in touch with me via Discord, man, and we'll work it out. So get in touch with me, and we'll find out a bit about him and what he's into, and if he still needs a copy, then we'll go ahead with it. And if it doesn't pan out, then maybe I'll give an STV08 next week. We'll work it out. Okay, yeah, sure. Hello, Starlet. Nice to see you. All right. The 315 for me though, Starlet. Not Starlet. Sorry, Shadow Girl. The problem is the price. Again, if you can get the Avenger that's more generalized for $10 less, when you're talking about a ship that's $55 versus $65, $10 is a lot of money. It's a large percentage. It becomes, starting to get into the 20 percentile. So yeah. But yeah, I think universally for the longest time the Titan's been the start. Like, if you can get just one and you've got the money, the Titan's the way to go. And then the next upgrade for us was the Cutlass. I think that might even change to the C1 now. I'm not really sure. I'd have to kind of. It's hard to tell before it's out, but on paper the C1 is better than the Cutlass Black. It just is.
And admittedly, it is another $10 more than the Cutlass Black, but it is the same price as a Freelancer. And I think on paper at the moment, it craps over the base freelancer.
It's gonna, because we're obviously having disagreements on some things, so we're gonna have to look at some stuff afterwards. But as far as I'm aware, if it actually jumps above the 38 meter mark, that actually puts it into a different size landing pad. But that's what I have in my memory. But these boys are telling me that it's a little different. So if depending on who's right, we'll have a look after the show. If the C1 actually goes up to a different size pad, that puts it on a completely different level to the freelancer and the Cutlass, because there's also drawbacks and benefits. So that actually pushes it. It's no longer actually a competitor to the Cutlass, believe it or not, because it's not the same pad. It doesn't fall into that same purview. Yep. But if it's somehow now the biggest ship that can fit on a medium pad, and if you've ever seen a freelancer sit on a pad, that thing fills the whole thing. Like the door opens and it is right on the edge. So we'll have to kind of wait and see, because if it gets bigger than the freelancer, I just don't see how it can stay on the same pad personally.
Yep.
This is a public service announcement for SA. SA writes, "This is a family-friendly stream. You know how hard I could have roasted you. Admit defeat, Army beats Navy. No, dude, I'll just hide behind a push-pull door and watch you confuse yourself to death." Right.
Those are fine words.
Midford School for the Gifted.
Yeah, that.
Before
okay, sorry, I've got
to chaos. Can I just say the community has come back resoundingly with 91% in favour of giving people, and I have to say that's really good to see the community be that supportive.
You literally beat me to the punch. I was about to say, no surprise to anyone. 91%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really good to hear that, guys. So
it's all right, guys.
John Gisby, just to join in on Twitch, we do have people joining into that debate. John Gisby says Navy's only job is to take Marines where they are going.
Yeah, but Marines aren't
to the
Army.
pub, right? It's to the pub.
Ask a Royal Marine what it says at the top of his ID card.
And I would have argued that Marines aren't Army, like even from the earliest days. So they're Marines.
Also, guys, give SA some time to respond. It takes a while when you can only type with one finger. Okay, moving swiftly on.
The trigger finger, so it's okay.
Looney Tune 1336.
No. He shoots his keyboard like with every and he's got to put a multiple rows because he has to replace the keys. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, anyway.
And would you believe this is not a roast essay stream? This is a roast badger stream.
I think he's the only one that's been roasting you really the whole time. So
but he hasn't though. He's not even like I called him a monster.
He gets points for trying. He gets points for trying.
Well, yes, that's it. Yeah.
And in fairness, he did point out this is a family-friendly stream, so he is holding back. So
I suppose it's kind of like when your kid finger paints for the first time. You're not proud so much of the product as you are like the effort and the fact that they've done it. So I get that. Okay, so moving swiftly on, Looney Tune asks, I took your advice and bought the Steve with LTI. Will I be able to make a good CCU chain for the Corsair during an IAE, and how much do you reckon it'll cost me? Thanks.
So this is the tough one. I almost have to recommend... Actually, I'll pull this out. Guys, does anyone have a Corsair CCU that they don't want? Anyone in chat have a Corsair CCU or a second one? Anyone that's got one that we can, at cost, give to him because he's going to need one? Because the only other option is to send him to the grey market, because obviously it's going to jump in price when it releases. Let's look at the Star Runner that went from $225 to $260, so that's a $35 jump. You have to assume that the Corsair is going to do the same, so that puts it to $240. So he'll be paying extra $35 for nothing. So has anyone got one laying around?
People are going to check. Can I?
Yeah. So everyone have a quick look into your buybacks and see if we can get him one.
How much longer have we got on the stream, X?
About half an hour, I think.
Because we're about a quarter of a way through the question.
Yeah, I know, but we're having fun. I think this one's a little different from most streams. We will go through more questions, but how often do we sit here and actually help each other? It's not often. So I'm kind of, yes, we are going out a normal purview, but I think, I don't know, I'm getting nostalgia berries. That's all I'm trying to say. Like there's a few of the things we've done today has really opened my eyes, like to just how generous we are as a community. And I'm very, I know this sounds very sappy and a little bit over top, but
it gives you a warm fuzzy.
Oh, it makes me very proud to know that you guys are like that. Like not that I'm your dad or anything, but you know what I mean. Like you don't see the best in people in this world too often anymore. So it's a good thing to see it. You have a Vulcan to Corsair. So what's that? That's $5. Is that $5? 15. You got $15. You can chuck to Volden. Who was it from? Who was the one that needed the CCU?
That was Looney Tune 1336.
Can you guys get together, or Lemming or Can you get those two guys together if you can, please? I know that's another task I'm chucking you under the bus for, but yeah. So if you can get him $15, which is the cost of it, Looney Tune, that basically means you'll get the Corsair at the cheaper price. It also then means that Citizen at AIE you can essentially fill in the blanks, or if you really wanted to today, you could have the Corsair today. So that's entirely up to you.
And I do have to make a comment on the John Bigsby's comment in Twitch.
Yeah.
He said X is daddy, but we know from the poll you did the other day that you're mum.
Oh, apparently I'm mum. Yeah. I've heard that before.
So
yeah.
So, you know, that question was asked the other day, and the answer was no, X was mum and I was dad. So
does that mean I reckon Badges is dad? I reckon you're just uncle. But yeah.
No, because it was coming off his comment that he didn't like it when mummy and daddy fought.
Yeah.
So he's junior.
Hang on, Voldine and Looney Tune. Can you guys? I don't know how you want to do it, through Facebook or Discord, or you could just do it in chat if you really want. But yeah, if you guys, it's going towards my lighting, so I don't mind helping. Going towards my lighting.
That's scary.
Yeah,
that's an FHC reward for being that deep into the game.
Oof. But yeah, Voldine, if you can so Looney Tunes is in chat there. He's the one that needs it. So if you guys can. He probably doesn't know how to do that, but you know, you'll have to PayPal him like $15, but then he'll just gift it to you. So it's like you've brought it off him, Looney Tunes, and that basically will save you about $35, and you can just then close the gap. So during the sale, you'll have to essentially build your Steve to a Vulcan, but then you apply that CCU that he gives you, and you have your Corsair. And you might get some other discount War Bond CCUs that you can chuck in the middle there as well. So if you need help with that, again, reach out to one of us or jump in the CCU helper channel, and one of us will help you.
I'm really sorry for everyone that needs to. Everyone is going to see this. If people have a nervous disposition and Algared could look away now, that would be great. But Essay,
just do
all
this,
I've
Algared.
got to say to that, mate, is this.
Wow. Rum Runners said, question, what name Badger's ship? Yeah, that was the worst time for you to eat, wasn't it? Because now everyone's going to sit here awkwardly watching you chew.
What I am going to say...
That's what it's called. It's the nom nom nom. The nom nom nom. We can't say that, remember?
To fill this up. Voladine, what the wife doesn't know doesn't matter. And I can tell you from speaking with Badgers earlier, what she doesn't know is a lot cheaper than a divorce.
Yeah. Voldine is asking you, Looney Tunes, if you have Discord. Or if you're on the Inforunners Discord. Maybe just reach out to each other in general on our Discord and go from there. Because you guys are going to have to give each other some personal details, and so he probably doesn't want to air that to everyone. So yeah, get on the Discord. The link will be in the description. God, I don't know if because we don't see the stream the same way you guys see the stream, but it's usually in the it's just discord.gg Inforunners in the browser. Hit enter and it'll take you to the Discord. But it's usually in the description below. I think it's meant to be below, but yeah, I think someone will let me know if it's any different.
So Alex Drew has a question about CCUs and the Endeavour. He says the Endeavour is probably years off, so it's so big, maybe at release or after. And I assume you're looking at wanting to get the Endeavour and asking about well, I don't need to worry about buying it now because it's so far off. And what we would suggest, if you're looking at not wanting to put the $350 in now, and looking at time, is get a CCU to it when it becomes available at IAE to lock in that price. So, and what you would do is you'd buy a CCU from the Endeavour to the closest always purchasable ship at that price.
So,
and that locks that, and that'll lock that price in. And then at your pleasure, you can then CCU up to that ship.
Not right now because I've been buying a lot of paints over the year, but like at the last sale, I think it was last IIE actually. It'll be here somewhere. So most of them are skins now because of what happened with the way the skin system works. I buy every skin and I melt it off, so it removes that limited thing. So see all these, look, even all the mule skins, I just buy them and then I melt them. Because things like those rarer Centron skins will come back up again. Oh god, I've got so many skins now. My page has jumped out from like, it was like 10 pages. It's now like 21 because of just all these skins I've been buying. But if you go back far enough, what I'm trying to get to is what Algared was literally talking about. So I actually have a lot of Gemini to Crucible, Gemini to Endeavour CCUs that I, whenever we need one, I just buy it back and give it to the person at cost. It'll be here somewhere.
Yep. So Alex was saying he actually doesn't want an Endeavour, but he was, I think, using that as an example of just the ship that's so far off.
Yeah.
But John Bigsby says, how would you work an LTI into that plan? It's simple. You just buy a Steve.
Yeah. Right now.
You buy a Steve now. You buy one now because it's an LTI token, and then you buy CCUs to that along. So if you've got say your Endeavour from I'll just pick a random ship, a BMM to an Endeavour for $2, right? And that's what you've got locking in your $350 Endeavour cost. Then from your Steve, you'd buy CCUs up to that BMM or whatever ship is doing that jump to your Endeavour. And then once you apply them, your Endeavour will be a $350 Endeavour at most. And depending on how many
I just wish you had
CCUs
not used,
or Warbond CCUs you've got in there, will lower that price.
I got to stop you because the Banner Merchantman is a really bad example because the Banner Merchantman is now technically more expensive. So you're better off to say something like a mole or something below it. But yeah, the Banner Merchantman is just going to confuse people. But yeah, Algared is right. He's just not explaining it in the best way. But yeah, there's a couple of the upgrades I was talking about anyway. And you can get those for $10. So rather than spending $350, you can essentially just spend $10 to lock in that price. And yes, I totally agree that the Endeavour is probably one of the last ships that we'll ever see, but it's an investment. Anyone in their right mind can look at that ship and go, that is worth a shit ton more than $350. And it'll be probably the last and probably one of the biggest purchases you can make in this game. Because if that thing goes as big as it could possibly go, you could be essentially getting like a $2,000 ship for $350. Not saying it will go there, but if it does, all you invested was $10. So yeah.
I have to say Zenstrat is correct. Old Man Hurston living in the past like usual.
Well, that's why I cut him off, because he was what he was talking about was back in the day when the Banner Merchantman was like cheaper, and
I was just trying to pick any ship, didn't matter, and I gave the example of it's a $2 upgrade. Trying to pick something totally out there, but I'll find one for you.
Yeah, I understand what you were doing, but I had my new person hat on, and I'm like, yeah, that would confuse the shit out of me, and that's why I just said, can you change the ship, because it's just going to confuse people.
Yep.
But yeah, as you can see, I've got a bunch of like I could probably even go into the next page, and there's more. So yeah, I have just an absolute shit ton of them that I can just buy back there. But eventually that thing will jump in price, and these will be not as useful. But it just allows me to buy them back on a whim and get them for people for $10. So yeah, if you want one, because I'm coming up to the other sale, I can grab you one now if you guys want one. Alrighty then. Next question, Mr. Badges. Badges. Mr. Badges.
I will stop muting myself whilst I eat. And you can all listen to me chew. Pappy Boynton asks, why does Badger think the Perseus is so amazing, or why does he like it so much? And I suppose this is kind of the right time to tie it in with the tar pits question that people asked, because it's all the same thing, right? And Jock Cop asked this too.
I was going to say people shouldn't kink shame you, but okay, sure.
I no shame on my kink. I am happy with this. Exactly like the tar pits. This is a commerce raider, so this is something that is powerful enough to get into your enemy supply line, do some real damage, and then you're going to have to dedicate a significant resource to go and deal with it and weed it out. Because any time it detects something that it doesn't want to deal with, it just runs. It just jumps away. Yep. And that's its thing, right? So, you're going to have to, we're talking well in the back line. I'm not talking just behind the front lines. I'm talking about finding your Hully that's bringing all of your ammunition, weapons, munitions, all of that stuff to the front line, your armor, and knocking it from existence. And that's it, basically. I think it's nice that the ship's got a weakness in that it's not as strong against fighters, but when armor comes in, I think we're going to find that it's not as easy to take down by fighters as people seem to be guessing. But that's why I'm a massive fan of the Perseus. It's also a ridiculous level of firepower for 6 people. For a maximum crew of 6, that's significant.
Someone in chat said they got a Endeavour for $170. I think that's pretty good. There's a question there by Alex that I want to kind of answer, because we were just talking about the Endeavour. It says, is there a risk of the CIG building the Endeavour at a slightly smaller scale to open the door for a larger variant, similar to comparing the Hull C to the Hull E? Yeah, anything's possible, but if you kind of look at what they promised, the problem is they can't fit that into the space that they've designed it to. Currently, it's 230 to 280 or something like that, which is already a very, very large ship, right? But to try and fit what they're trying to do into that space is just not going to work. And if you watch the video, The Last Chance for the Endeavour, which I'm sure most of you guys have all seen, because it's probably the most popular video on our channel, it has to grow at minimum by quite a large amount, because of things like the Cutlass and the Apollo have now been promised that they have to go into the hangar. So once the hangar gets bigger, the ship has to get bigger. And when you work that through, things like the biodomes have to get bigger, because they wouldn't work to the small metrics they had before. It's a hospital ship, it's a supercollider, and you work all that stuff through. And we heard rumors that were fed back to us from CIG. Now, again, they're always rumors, so you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But the last time we heard one was that it had grown to Bengal size to accommodate the changes they'd promised. The other thing you got to remember is, once they kind of say stuff, people take that as promises, and literally, because it's got media releases and stuff like that, if someone's got one of those media releases and they break it, they can be sued for it. So they there's this whole legality thing that comes into it, right? And when you bring that legality in, they're not going to break that just because it puts them at risk of being sued. And so when you roll it back, yes, there can be a limitation of how big it's going to go. But at the end of the day, isn't it safe for them as a company to upgrade that one and do so, like what they did with the Banner Merchantman, essentially, right? They upgraded the Banner Merchantman and they built a ship behind it because it's safer. It doesn't open them to litigation. So that's how can you guys speak to that? Like I know I'm probably going a bit outside your purview there, Badges, but does that make more sense to you to push one up and then it's safer to build one behind, rather than push one down and open themselves to litigation? That kind of makes more sense to me, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just jumping always. $100. Thank you ever so much. She says, for glory, for the Perseus, for Badges. I really appreciate that, dude.
I think we're up to 2 Perseuses at this point. at least. And that's if we went out and brought one with brand new cash. You guys have gone way above and beyond. But as we've said in the vote, I think what we're going to do is pull all that money together and buy as many starter packages as we can. And what we'll do is I'm Lemming and Can, I'm kind of half talking to you at the same time here, is we want put a channel together And I don't. It's like Badger said. How do you prove someone is at a disadvantage? So we're going by your goodwill here, guys. But basically, try and find some recipients for these starter packages that are the most deserving in our community, right? People that we all know are struggling and kind of give back in that season. You know, I think 91% of you were up there, so that's overwhelming. So even if we lose 10% of the starter packages, I can live with that. If 91% of them go to people that are really deserving, I'm all for that. Man, I really do want to risk out to CIG now and say, hey, I've got this really cool idea for Christmas.
That's all right. Ted's come back and said he's tried to email that mobile guy, got a return mail notice. But you know, unfortunate that it doesn't work in that case. But you know, you know, we'll find other people for this stuff.
We'll find another way.
So maybe because we don't have one today, what if we just give away a C1? I'll buy a C1 and we'll give it away on stream right now. What do you guys think? Don't go awkward and quiet on me. You both went awkward and quiet. This is what they do. This is how they gang up on me with the mind games. What do you guys?
Yeah, I mean, what should
we
guys think?
Or should we ask chat? Do you guys want a Steve, or should we just like give away like a C1 to one, or should we give them, or do you want to go the other way and we give away like 3 Steves? I was feeling generous because everyone else has been generous.
And I'm gonna cut Execute off just to say, Alex, thank you for the $20 donation there.
How do you guys feel? Do you guys want a C1, or we'll do a vote? We'll do a vote.
Lots of people going for a C1.
Yeah,
there's 3 people for a C1 right
that's only 3. So
4, 5.
So we'll go. so
6.
Would
7.
you
3 Steves. 8, 9.
So it'll be
John
3.
Gigby, thank you for the $100 bits there of 100 bits.
Oh wow!
So not $100 bits, but 100 bits. But thank you again. Alex Adouk said 3 STVs. So we got STVs coming out.
By the way,
out of the 3 votes in Twitch.
Sorry. By the way, there'll be concierge skins with the Steves, because I can buy a concierge. What's the one for the? Let's go have a look at the pledge. Oh, I gotta open it again. Hold on, bear with me.
It's I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'd be getting the concierge based C1. Where do we go for this?
I think you go through your account concierge.
Is that how we do it? Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm not good at this shit.
And then concierge.
Yep. And then where do I go? It's not here. What are you talking about? Isn't it
down and then scroll across? Down, no. Back to the store.
I'm going back. Yep.
Down. Where the merch is, and then just scroll across.
Really?
Yeah.
So it would be.
It's the Olympia. There you go.
No. That's just a paint. So these are just the individual paints. I want the ships. It doesn't actually have
okay.
The ship. Oh, there's the Steve. Okay, well, maybe we'll just be generous, and I'll chuck in the skin of their choice. But the Olympia is the one I'd go for. Maybe maybe we can be an arse and do a community vote, and they get the skin the community chooses. But yeah, I would go the Olympia. I think it's the most classy of the 3. But I also like the red one as well. But you know, that's up to you guys. So we're up to 1 C1. So I think we're going for a C1.
Apparently, on the sales page for the ship, you should see the It was in there last time I looked for it, but
if you go to standalone ships, you can see it.
So what am I going to? Sorry, just here.
Standalone ships.
Standalone ships.
And while you guys are doing that, I will go back to John Gibby's question about the CCUs.
Hang on. I don't know where to go. So where am I going? Game packages?
Extras. Standalone ships.
Thank you. Sorry, I could continue.
Okay. So for John's question about the CCUs to the Endeavour, the 3 best CCUs at the moment going on the ship upgrade sales would be a Gemini to an Endeavour for $10, a Caterpillar to an Endeavour for $20, or a Redeemer to an Endeavour for $25. And you buy one of those and you just leave it in your hangar, and that will lock in your Endeavour price at $350.
Yeah. So,
and then if you buy War Bond CCUs down the track, that may bring the overall price you pay down.
So
but that means you won't pay any more than $350.
So it comes with the Crimson by the look of it. And the reason it's 110 is because it's in Australian dollars and we have to pay 10% GST. So that's the way it is. So it just comes with the Crimson. And we will buy this.
Shows your card details.
Oh yeah, shit. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Hang on. You guys can see, but these guys can't. So hang on. If I go, I don't mind you guys seeing.
And the question is, how are you going to do it with Twitch as well? Are we going to?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Actually, really good.
Just so the Twitch guys know, you know, someone's looking out for you. You're not being ignored.
I'm trying to think of a way to do it that's fair. Can we? Is there a way? Hang on. Competition entry.
Maybe we need to.
So what I was thinking is, if we use a competition website and everyone can just quickly join that, and then I can just do it, just quickly do a draw, competition. I'm trying to think of the fairest way to do it. So, because like they're going one person from YouTube and one person from Twitch is also not fair to the people on YouTube because they have a lower chance of winning. So I'm trying to think of
Yeah, we need a system where you can just put all the names in and just it draws out the three. Yep.
Yeah. Can I crowdsource this? Badges, Algared, Lemming, anyone in chat? Find something where we can just get people to very quickly sign up to, and we just randomly draw something. So if someone's got a link or something, I'll do it that way. Anyway,
there should be something that like a website where we can just go in and everyone can join, and
yeah,
you pick a random from within there, and obviously people won't know the link.
Yeah,
Gleam. Says Gleam.
Yeah, I've heard of Gleam. Gleam. Let's have a look. But it also requires you to sign up for shit, doesn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. Like I have to sign up for it.
And I need to excuse myself very briefly, and I'll be back soon.
Yeah. Oh, it's got pricing. I've got to pay. Oh, I want that shit. No. Gleam wants money. Gleam is a money platform. I'm not interested in that. Shit. Oh, Twitch people made this very difficult all of a sudden. Oh, fuck it. How about we just give a Steve to Twitch and the C1 to YouTube? I don't know. Does that sound like a good idea, or am I being stupid?
I'm just going to see if I can...
I think it's the fairest we can come up with to give something away before we end the stream.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to do it and make it fair. And
Well, while you're doing that, shall I crack on with some questions and stuff?
Yes, please. Sorry for interrupting.
That's all right. Okay,
what Essie suggested is, can you see who's watched this stream, put all the names in, and then put away next stream?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, mate? Good to see you, buddy.
That's a really manual process, and it'll take me a couple of hours.
It's just so that you don't have to do it now. You can take it offline and do it for the next stream.
I'm getting message requests from people.
Chris, just to bring you up to speed, because you only just joined the stream, mate. A very good friend of mine, by the way, guys, is just joined the stream. He, not to embarrass him too much, but he is a full-time helm on Tower Lifeboat. So he is one of the guys that I worked with very closely to go and rescue people who were in trouble on the Thames.
Does he
the guy is an absolute legend. He does, yeah. He's fully geared up with the ships and stuff.
I was gonna say, is there a starter package? And because he needs something like that to put up with your shit. So yeah.
Just like this all the time, like this, Chris. This is what it's like here, mate.
We are trying to roast him today and doing a terribly poor job, Chris. So if you've got any little gems because you know him in real life, please feel free to share. You know, like the parents do to the boyfriend and girlfriend. Where that's what we want. Like if you ever see him in a adult diaper or something like that, something really embarrassing, that'd be great. Please have it, Chris. He's now typing Chris and dude, this you fucking dude, I fucking kill you.
Yeah. But just so you're aware, Chris, the Perseus mission has been completed.
Yeah,
so,
probably Probably twice over. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, and just for Chris's benefit, we've decided that we're going to get a whole bunch of starter packages during Christmas and give them away to people that we think are deserving. Yep. So yeah.
Yep. So the whole
I'm home.
I cannot find something to give this away fairly, guys.
So Opinion says set up a Sheets document. Everyone put their name in, then do a random number by.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, because then I can just use a random number generator and just go to the line. Yeah, let's do that. I will do that.
If you could get username lists, I've sent you a link that you can just dump the username links into, and then it does a spinning wheel for you.
Yep.
Hang on. You sent me a link called Wheel of Names.
If you do, If you do Google,
but you can't add your own names. So it means I have to manually do this. What you've just sent me.
You do Google Sheets, and then you add the names in that bar, and it'll actually put them into that.
Yeah. So I've got to do this twice. So hang on. Got Google Sheets. Right, you guys keep doing questions. I'm going to be a couple of minutes.
I was going to say, this is what happens when X is thinking in, because...
that's sorry.
So, questions. Next one. Badge?
No worries. Don't get upset with me, X. You've been roasting me all stream, so...
You make me so sad.
Okie dokie. So, moving on then. In fact, Nator Pritz asks... I love flying big ships, often solo. What's the biggest ship that's going to make sense solo with future AI blades, maybe NPCs? That's a tough one.
Connie sized.
Yeah. I think those mediums make a lot of sense to me. It sounds like it just to you, Algared.
No large ship should make sense flying solo.
All right.
Unless you take the Odyssey, which they've said is a minimum crew of 1.
If I see anyone deleting anyone else's name, I'm going to remove them from the draw. Because you've all got write access. So you can technically delete other people's names. So if you see a name there, try not to write over the top of it. And I'll let that run for the next 10 minutes so everyone hopefully can get their name in there. Yeah, and don't put it in column B, please. Put it in column A, because then I can just select the whole column and copy it. Yeah, there's some people already adding G and H. Yeah, you bastards. So put it this way, I'm just selecting it from A. So if you're not in, I've also pasted into Twitch. So yeah, just put your name in column A. If there's a space, it won't matter because then we'll just re-roll it. So yeah, just try and fill in all the spaces you best you can, guys.
So Twitch viewers, you've got that link as well. Go to that link, put your name on the list in column A, and you will be transferred to the wheel of names and be in the draw. And you can actually make that wheel of names so it actually takes the names out once they've won, so you can actually use it all 3 times.
Cool. Well, we'll go to it. All right.
So whilst that carnage is going on Sheets, what I would say about it is people need to start thinking about large and caps like this, right? Large is the 5-man dungeon from the current dungeon from WoW, and caps are the raids. You know, you don't go in and solo current dungeons from WoW. You don't go in and solo current raids from WoW. And I think that's where I would put it. You know, that's not the way these contents are designed. That's not what they're designed for. That's not the missions they're going to have in mind for these sorts of ships. Everything is going to be on the realms of it being group play from those ships upward.
Yeah. I'll just cut you off there very quickly because there is a question from Twitch asking which name. I put in either your YouTube name or your Twitch name at the moment, and if you win, we'll ask you
what your email is and stuff like that. Yep.
What your email is and that, so we can pass it on.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So what I've ended up purchasing, by the way, is the C1 Spirit with the Crimson paint, and I've also picked up the Olympia paint. I think that.
Sorry to ask, can someone add my name? I will add your name, Hammer.
Yep. Okay, I'm purchasing this now with PayPal. Hang on, I gotta yell at someone.
So yeah, that's what I would take from the group play stuff, is that they're just not designed for that. The other interesting thing, because I know we've touched on this before, but I'd be interested to know what people in chat think on this, is with the really, really big ships. Owning a capital ship is not necessarily going to qualify you to command a capital ship.
I agree, 100%. Because I think you're gonna have to have a certain personality to be able to manage all those people. You're gonna have to have a broad range of knowledge. But you know this better than I, so you speak to it. But I agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah. Go on, Algared. Sorry, you.
100%.
Yeah. Because it's tough, and you'll find that from a gameplay perspective. So forget certain types of people. From a gameplay perspective, there are people that enjoy that sort of gameplay and the people that just don't. So you have the people who enjoy taking the commander role in Hell Let Loose, for example, or they enjoy taking on a command role in Armor, or they enjoy being raid leaders. And these are the people that we're talking about. I guess, raid leader is the best way to put it for me. Loads of people can raid in World of Warcraft, and they can. And I talk about World of Warcraft because everyone's familiar with it, right? Even if you haven't done it, you know how it works roughly. Everyone can do their roles. They can DPS, they can tank, they can heal, whatever their role there is. Some people are really, really good at that. But coordinating everyone in that raid to react to events that are happening, that's different. It's a different skill set. It's a different way of managing things. So that's the people, or those, are the people who are going to be commanding those ships. And it's really interesting with the fleet command module, which is going to come in for the Idris and the Javelin. This is in the stretch goals. It talks about additional fleet command facilities. And the way that would work in the Navy is that you have the captain of the vessel and the crew of the vessel. That doesn't change. What you then have is you have something called an embarked battle staff, and that's the commodore or the admiral. That's the general, colonel, brigadier, whoever it is. That's the RAF liaison as well. That's your marine detachment or command, whoever that is. And they come on and they basically will say to the ship, this is what we want you to do. And then the captain figures out how to execute that as the ship. And then the task group's taken around. And I think that's, whether this is by design or by accident, it looks like the way CIG are going to be able to run things. So, because I keep talking about this from a communications perspective, if you have a Pegasus carrier and a couple of combat ships and some fighter wings and a bomber wing and some supply ships and some repair ships and some fuelers, that's a ridiculous number of ways to talk to each other, because you don't want the fighters coordinating their next target over the same channel that all the ships are using to coordinate their next target, because my Perseus or my Javelin is going to be firing at very different targets to the arrows or the gladiuses or the right. So it's going to be quite challenging. But yeah.
I've got to ask, are the people having trouble adding themselves to the Google Docs? Like, are they on phones or something, so they're not able to add themselves? Is that a problem? Because I'm getting this, we've got 127 people, and yet there's not even a half that signed up. So I'm wondering if the people having trouble, the Google Docs is not the best way to have done this.
Yes, people are having trouble adding their names. I did add Hammer VK to the list because they were saying they had problems. But they were on their phone and it wasn't letting them add their name.
Shit. Okay, so that's not going to work either. I'm just trying to wonder, is the way that we can
Sangropa didn't have a problem doing it from phone, so
Yeah, so some people are having issues, some people are not. I just want to make sure everyone's on there before we do it. Also, the other thing is I'm going to crowdsource this as we do. Any doubles, so make sure there's no doubles, because I added a John Stevens, but someone else has added a John Stevens, and I added a Red Samurai, and someone else added a Red Samurai. So there's now I've had to go back and delete the ones I added. So, Lemming and can you start pushing it all up?
Who has named themselves Al wants a cutty steel?
Well, if they win, they win. That's just how it is. You can use whatever name you want. But yeah, Can and Lemming, can you start moving them up so they're all in one list for me, please? No one else do that. Just let those boys do that. So because obviously we've now let 100 and it says it's 51 people in there. Yeah, so yeah, just
151 people into the dock.
Yeah, so just disconnect yourselves once you're done, guys, because then it just the less hands on it, the less things are going to go wrong. So yeah, just get your name in there and then get out, please.
Yeah. Chris is entirely right there. It is like herding cats. Great. Alex asks a really good follow-up question, actually, and I'll answer this at once, even though it's a recent one. Is once people reach endgame in the masses, and everyone has at least one cap or, just sub-cap ship, wouldn't you imagine CIG making it possible to solo a cap ship? I think we've kind of answered,
I also think they kind of showed a little bit of that at CitizenCon with removing the fuses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can remove the fuses and bring the shields down and you get a hit that's big enough, you could maybe not destroy, but you could at least really cripple a capital if you did it right. But no, generally speaking, if it was like, the 1v1 all being equal type of situation, no. So
yeah. For one person, Anthony M is asking in chat, can you add him, please?
I will add the people that asked. Don't anyone else do it. So what was it? Anthony
Great.
What?
Anthony M.
Anthony M. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Someone in Twitch earlier was saying, and I've lost this chat now. I had to reboot it. But they were saying earlier that I love my MSR, but I fully expect to be having to run around and fix shit because it breaks. And I think they were saying they intended to fly solo because of but they were fully expecting they're going to have to stop and get up and move around, and that's on MSR. That's one of the ships that we think you can run solo, but capital ships, not a hope in Hades.
All right, I'm
adding... not a hope in Hades.
Euro the Smoke. I'm adding him now.
And then one below him as well.
Yep. Who is that? Euro the Smoke. Add me. Rufus. Adding me now, Rufus.
I would expect that you'd need, on those capital ships, you will need at least a player engineer, a gunnery officer. You're going to need other people to run those positions and and someone to be flying the ship and running around. Yeah, you might be able to do it with skeleton crew, but I don't see you being able to fly. I don't even think the 600i will remain as a really good large ship. The only super large ship that we've got that I think is one that you'll be able to do solo is the Odyssey, because they've said it is a one-person minimum crew. The only ship at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if that changes.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. All right, we'll give it another. I'll give it another 5 minutes. We've probably only got about 9 minutes left in the stream, but I want to give people every chance they can to get in and get themselves added. If you can't get yourself added for some reason because you're on a phone or another device, or your Twitch and you can't get off Twitch, please just let us know and we'll try to add you manually, because I want to give as many people a chance as possible. Because we're up to 92 at the moment, and clearly we've got more than that. We're 41 viewers there, so we're up to about 175 by my count, right? So we've
picked up viewers on
Twitch.
Twitch. The third. Oh, it was a giveaway. Well done.
We didn't even put in the title. Actually, do you know the funny thing is, like, the title almost never change. I never change the title on Twitch. It's always just Inforunners live stream. That's all it ever is. But it's just too much to manage two things at once, and there's no automated way to do it. So you got to do everything manually. It's really annoying. Someone
I
will
think in some
eventually
sense it's better to have.
someone will eventually build some software so it's all integrated, but no one's ever done it yet. So yeah.
I tend to think it's better to just keep that name standing because it just means if we link it up to the Star Citizen webpage, then it doesn't change. It's just there. Boom.
Actually, that's a really good question. Are we actually on the community hub? I have to find that out now. You've said that, Algared, because
yeah, I wouldn't want.
Loud Guns'
knowing
points about soloing caps. Loud Guns says if you can solo a cap ship, then the bigger orgs will just put out 50 cap ships.
Yep,
that's true.
And I think that's the difference, right? Between if everyone can solo a cap, we become Eve.
Yep, and this is not Eve. And if people want it to be Eve, go fucking play Eve.
I think that's the other part of it too. Okay, wait. In front of the live stream, why is it under Execute?
And yes, that hit my button.
Oh, because I've attached it to my thing. Okay, so maybe I need to make another. I'll have to buy a package or something and call it Inforunners. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Execute started a live Inforunners live stream. Okay, right. But we're on there 3 hours ago. That's interesting.
3 hours ago, and we're almost on the top page or top line.
Not quite.
A million miles away. But then we've only got 40 viewers, so.
Yeah, but we're not. That's not our primary platform. But
it's not primarily what we're after. But yeah, it'd be nice to see the. All
right, guys. 1 minute left. If you want to, I'll repost the. Hang on. It's editor copy link. I'm going to repost the link and then I should have done this earlier. Sorry. So I'm reposting the link in both on both platforms just to make sure you guys have all got it. I want to give everyone a fair chance. So if you tell me to stop and not do the draw, I will do just that because I don't want to be unfair. But what are we up to now? We're up to 93.
So if you use that link and add your name into column A of the Google Docs, you will be added to the list, or you'll be in the draw, and you'll be added to the wheel of names. A teacher's dream. This is. It's amazing. You're doing assignments or things at school. You put that up. And you can say, okay, next person up is doing X. And the kids will be saying, no.
Starlet, you better be giving this away to someone else. I'm just saying. Starlet's like Algared. She's almost got as many ships as Algared, but that's funny. Anyway, yeah, Lemming and
I will point out, I'm not in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to put myself on there, and I don't think Badges or you will. But Lemming and you can put yourself on there if you wish. I've got no problem with that at all. But yeah, that's just a little give back to you guys that were here at stream today, so I think it's worth doing. We are trying to answer questions, but it becomes difficult because as me as the driver trying to do things at the background, it kind of
You got another question for us?
I'm trying to.
Just tell Execute to shut up.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Demir Pagonja asks, for Execute, are you happy with the Corsair's turret?
Oh yeah, extremely. I don't know if you saw me on the live stream, and I was also on Captain's Table. They said, what was the #1 positive takeaway from CitizenCon? And I said that they fixed the Corsair's turret. So now they can shoot forward. And Algared, I think I kind of should let you speak more into this because you weren't there, but that for me is the pivotal fix it needed, yeah?
And we'd actually looked at that even before when they showed I think in the last when they did the ship shape in the ISC when they were doing looking at the Corsair, and we saw the turrets and we said they've been hammerheaded. They were hammerhead turrets, and it's good to see that they are, and it does increase the forward firepower of that ship, which I know that was the thing they were trying to limit with the weird angles.
Yeah.
So how's that going to impact on the Corsair versus the others? Because that's a crap load of firepower it can now put forward.
Yeah. Well, they could have done other things too. Like, so I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'm just giving an example. So say it had size 3s on the turrets, they could chuck them down to size 2s or something like that.
Yep.
They've probably worked out a way to do it, but for me, it was such a good layout.
Oh.
You and I raved about it in our looks at it, and it was really just this huge glaring oversight that just it was almost like you putting like having a Ferrari with no wheels. Is the analogy I'd give, because it was almost there and then it just stumbled, and it's got this, really cool turrets, but the turrets can't do anything if they can't shoot forward. It's just that simple.
For me, the original reason of the turrets was to give a pirate ship, because it's a Drake ship, a broadside, and yet one turret does not a broadside make.
Yep.
And so you almost wanted 2 or 3 of those, even if they were linked or to give a broadside. But I think the solution they've come up with is better. It is actually really good. It actually makes those turrets something that players will want to be in. Admittedly, I think they're only size 2s, and so you don't want to lower them down because size 2s are pretty wussy anyway, I think.
Badges, are you making love with your eyes to Essay or Chris?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know if you saw that Algared, but he's like going. Yeah, it was really funny. Yeah, you had to be there.
Yep.
But yeah. First time chatter question. Is the Cutlass still better than the Spirit because it can fit the rock in, or is it carrying the rock not a big deal for this size ship, and speed, manufacturability, armor more important for the size? I at the end of the day, I think the reason why the C1, as we said in our video, the C1 will take the crown is because it seems to be pushing more towards speed, where you get guns from Drake and you get shields and defense from Misk, right? So you've got your rock, paper, scissors, your tank, your DPS.
It'll be in the middle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of, but because of the speed and it's a delivery vehicle, you want the speed more than anything else, because combat's not going to be all the time. It's only when you're in trouble. But like the speed can get you out of trouble, but it's better for the actual cargo routing because you're faster. So I think of those 3 ships as a generalized cargo vehicle, it's the better one. That's on paper, but when it comes out, it could be different, right? So
and
just
the other thing that does seem to come out is that it seems that the C1s of Spirit series seem to be able to have cargo plus their little vehicle at the back, and I'm not sure whether that's going to be the case. But if that's the case, then
I think you're right.
It trumps the Cutlass anyway, because the Cutlass exchanges the vehicle for cargo.
So before your name rolls off the screen, Sin, what my recommendation would be to you is to pick up a Cutlass to C1 CCU and sit on it. And if the C1 comes out and it's not everything you'd hoped and dreamed it would be, just melt it and keep your Cutlass. Yep. It's a $10 investment to protect yourself. And I think we'll all agree $10 is not very high price to pay. That can also be rolled into something else. And at the very worst case scenario, if you only have a Cutlass, is you essentially just roll that back into 2 Cutlass skins. It's a $10 investment to protect yourself.
Yep. So. And I think you can. Can you buy the CCUs for Spirit at the moment? You can.
Yes, you can. Yeah, right. So this is what you want to do. Actually, why don't we just show them while we're here? You go into the ship pledge store. You go to ship upgrades. So I hope you're following along here, Sin. If not, you can look back at the VOD.
This is also the same type of thing you do for that Endeavour as well.
This is how you do CCU chains, essentially. It helps if I can spell Cutlass, doesn't it? And then I'd go Spirit. So I go to C1. You want to go the Cutlass Black. And that's it. Now, it's $11 for me because we're in Australia and we've got 10% GST. But you do that, add it to your cart, buy it for $10. Don't melt it. Don't melt it, whatever you do, and just leave it sitting in your hangar.
And that's locked in the Spirit at that price.
Yep. Now,
then
go ahead.
If you want an LTI on that, you buy a Steve and you CCU the Steve up to that ship, up to the Saber Cutlass as you go.
Okay, then. I think I'm going to cut it off now, guys, because it's after... I left it another 10 minutes after I said I would. So I'm going to close that off adding people now. And I'm going to copy this whole list. Hopefully this works. I'm not very good with sheets. Yay! There we go. All right. So
you want it to be.
What do I want to do?
You want to make sure you select the. If you've got the option, the one that takes the names out once they've been drawn.
We're only drawing one thing.
Aren't we drawing 3 names for the 3 Steves?
No, we brought a C1 Algared. That's what they voted for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought most said with 3, but okay.
I can go back and check the poll, but I'm pretty sure it was like 80% to C1. But yeah. Oh, that's what I brought. I brought that now, so tough shit. I've already brought it. It's in my hanger. All right.
Bonds, yes, I believe we did find a Corsair CCU. Thank you.
Make sure Looney Tunes. Did you get the CCU? Double check that with Looney Tunes because he's the one who needed it. Just let us know in chat that you got it, Looney Tunes, and if you didn't. All right. Good luck to everyone. The person that wins, we'll get in contact with you, and you just give us an email that you want it sent to. So if you don't want the ship yourself, but you know someone that wants it, you can give it to someone else if that's what you want to do. It's entirely up to you. All right, here we go. Good luck. Fingers crossed.
Oh, you're not playing the music? Oh.
I am to stream, not to you. Whoa! Oh, Cynic, you won it after your little question there too. That seems very ironic. So Cynic,
Cool.
getting contact with us. He's on Twitch, so someone on Twitch did win it in the end. So that was why we tried to do it that way.
Congrats.
We were worried that Twitch were going to be a little left out. So congrats, Cynic.
So no, Cynic, the Cutlass is not the ship for you anymore.
No. That answers that question. No, you just win it on a stream, mate. That's how you do it. You gamble. You gamble, mate. That's how you do it. So where is it here? Going back to the hangar. So you've just won this. So we've chucked in an Olympia paint, which is giftable, and obviously the Crusader C1 with a crimson paint. So you got 2 skins for it, and an Air Review hanger with lifetime insurance. And that is thanks to, not to us, but the generosity of the people on stream that donated towards Badger's Perseus Fund, and it went a little bit over, so we thought we'd give back a bit to everyone there. So congrats, everyone in Twitch is going off their face. People on YouTube are ready to kill you. No, it's fine.
Yep, the Twitch people are saying awesome, fantastic, congrats.
Yep.
And I'll just point out to you guys were complaining earlier that you were being ignored.
Yeah. So there you go.
We haven't ignored you. We've looked after you.
Yeah.
Lovingly, caringly.
Now take your ship and fuck off.
So Cynic,
you, your mates, and your esky.
Cynic, if you can
well done, mate.
Cynic, just get in contact with me on Discord if you can, mate, directly. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm reading some stuff. Yeah.
Or just tell us your email and that you want us to send it to, and your in-game
someone was messaging
the account name, but link.
Someone was messaging me about that they had a bunch of people that needed starter packages that were not well off. So we'll bring that around for Christmas time. So I just said get in contact with me later today. Yep. So Cynic, you can either message me on. Just give me a message of your email, however is convenient to you, Cynic. Well, not now, Beach Hound, because I'm on stream, right? He just asked me. I said, get in contact with later today, and he goes, sure, whatever time works for you. When will that be? Not now. Anyway, but yeah.
And Captain Exploder, you're welcome to stay on YouTube or stay on Twitch. Or you're welcome to go back to YouTube. I'm happy for you to stay on Twitch because that's the one I'm watching today because the bot isn't working.
Is Paul streaming yet? Can anyone tell me if Paul's streaming? I'll have a quick look and see if he's if we can pass you guys on over to Paul. And you'll have to.
I cannot see Paul streaming at the moment.
Guys, we'll see if we can do something with the questions that you guys have asked that we didn't get around to because there's some really good ones in there. So we'll figure something out.
We'll do the community. We'll do what we did that time when we had heaps left over, and we'll answer them all. We'll do it right after this if we can. And Badgers might go off to bed because
don't we need a show? Don't we need a show this week, X?
I guess we could do it that way. That's not a bad idea. Actually, I did have an idea.
Let's do the question.
Yeah, but I did have that. I've got an idea for a hardware-based show because we've never really talked about hardware in SC. And with Algared's hardware issues this week and the release of the
recent kerfuffle,
the release of the 4090, I thought it was about time we actually sat down and actually had a talk about, because some of the price, because Star Citizen is not a low-level tier game when it comes to hardware, but by the same token, I think the 490 has gone beyond that now, and I think it's ridiculous with what they've done with the 4090, and I just don't think it's worth endorsing NVIDIA anymore. And I don't think you like I know some people, like there's some people that we know that actually stream this game, and they're still streaming it with like 1070s and stuff, which, you know, they can't literally afford to buy a new graphics card. And so what's NVIDIA doing? You know, so so it's just
I've got a
difficult.
I've got a 1050 Ti graphics card that I had in a previous computer that was running Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And that was over a year ago, and it was running it fine. It was running it with the same frames that I was getting on the 1080 Ti. So.
Okay, so you're saying, Paul,
so do you need that super thing?
Do I need what, sorry?
I was saying the answer. Do you need the big graphics card? No.
No.
But you do need a certain level.
In chat, guys, in Twitch, can you guys give me someone that you would let's go to back to that community hub thing, and we'll pick someone here. Who do we want to pick in our community that we can raid on Twitch? And we'll get Twitch handed off first, and then we'll move along. Who we got here? We've got Gil.
Who's got the least viewers?
Whilst you're looking for that, mate, someone said, here we go, Sean Solo said, when the Perseus becomes flyable, can we have an Inforunners fleet tour through the verse where we all bring our favourite ship and Badger's leads in his Perseus? Yes. Yes. That sounds like a great idea. We'll figure it out once Perseus becomes flyable. We'll figure out how we're going to do that, but we'll get a massive Inforunners fleet together and we'll go and do that, because that sounds amazing.
Two names have come up. Crunchy is on, and Busted the Destroyer is on, who is back after a break.
Oh, they're both people I know too. But I've never had the opportunity to raid Crunchy, so I kind of want to do that.
No, I think we should raid Crunchy, because not only that, he's an Aussie.
Yeah.
So
Aussie love. So I'm going to send you.
If you're not Aussies, suck it up, princess.
Yeah. So raid's being created there for that. We need to look for someone on YouTube though, because so any recommendations from you guys? I don't think there is. It's really hard to find raid on YouTube.
And I got to say, just before we do go, guys, you've been awesome. Thank you ever so much. I had no expectation of getting my hands on a Perseus this soon.
Crunchy is playing Fall Guys though.
Oh shit! Really?
Bad.
I can cancel it and we can go to Buster instead.
Well, 27 have already gone.
No, they haven't gone. They're still there. I haven't hit the button to send them yet. So
okay.
People are leaving as soon as they had Fall Guys. They just like left. So we'll go. Thanks for the stream. Yeah. So I'll just send you guys to what was it, Buster the Destroyer. I was watching her yesterday actually.
Buster the Destroyer.
The Destroyer. Inforunners user. Raid created. Buster Destroyer. He's been created. Yep. Cool. I don't know who to raid on. There's no way to look up. See, this is the thing. Like, I'm going to bring it over just so you guys can see what I'm saying, right? There is no way to actually look up who is live. We're the only ones that is live for Star Citizen right now. That's it.
Yep.
Like, there is just so little live content. So that's just how it is. So I might just have to end the stream for YouTube, unfortunately, because Paul's not on. Rum Runner, we've had so many people ask us about an Inforunners org. I think you'll find the Inforunners org will pop up when we're much closer to release, right? And we've also talked with a few of that. We've talked with Badges, and we've also talked with Space about maybe having 3 sister orgs instead, because something in the UK, something in the USA, and then something in Australia. Because and we'll do events with each other, but you're going to play in different areas. So yeah. All right. Goodbye to everyone on Twitch, YouTube. Say goodbye to Twitch. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the chat. Cynic, get in touch with us, or you're not getting your ship. Right. Thanks again, guys. Really awesome stream. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, Twitch people. Sending
Take
them
care
off.
and be well.
And Twitch is gone. And they are off to Buster. I'll probably have to open up Buster's thing now so I can watch her. Get excited because I probably just doubled her numbers.
Well, she's just got the notification that 25 of us have come across.
Yep. Let me turn my TV around real quick. Where is she? Buster. Hey, that's us on stream. Yeah, cool.
To everyone in here, whether you donated or not, you know that you're always welcome on the Discord server.
The question from Buster is, what the hell are we doing on Twitch, by the way?
Yeah.
Well, don't you guys do YouTube? What the hell are you doing on Twitch?
Yeah.
Come and see us on the Discord server. If I'm in, you're always welcome to come and have a chat with me. Wherever I am in there. I have a Discord server too, which you can find the link to in some of the videos. If not, just give me a message. But I'm always happy to stop and chat. And looking forward to when the Perseus becomes flyable. We will. I'm looking forward to doing the tour. And
Badges, for me and Algared, Chris, can you take Badges out and have a cold one with him for us? And if you want some money, we'll chuck you some money. Have a drink with him on us, and that'd be great.
Chris and he comes to the Warhammer event that we organise.
Yep.
So we will. I might even have some photos for you guys of that event. So
that'd be really
you
cool.
can come along to that. That'd be cool.
Yep.
You need to do some proper wargaming though.
All right.
You need to do some proper historical wargaming, not that part.
Yeah, so maybe for the episode this weekend, we might do 2 episodes, and one of them is just us quickly going through the questions and getting those done, and we might also do maybe do a bit of a rigmarole and bundle in one and talk about hardware as well. Because I think that chat needs to be had. And I did put it to Badges and Algared this week. I can't think of someone that I know that's a content creator that's super into hardware. Because I did a lot of hardware stuff, right? But I've just never talked about it. And then I went, because I build a lot of PCs for people, and I'm like, shit, why am I talking about this? And so it's something I want to talk with you guys and get a bit of feedback. Because I think it's something we need as a community. It's a part of our PC health. And I think we kind of need to talk about that. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Likes, dislikes, subscribes, all that stuff, the Patreon stuff. Thank you for the ridiculous amount of money to help Badges out, and we will be turning around and giving that right back to our community. Appreciate that, and I think it's been good for us all, and I think it's also good for our game health as well. So, yeah, thank you very much. He's been Algared. He's been Badges. I've been Execute.
He's been Execute.
And he's been Execute.
And we'll catch you next week.